Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night once again. I'm Accurator, and this is going to be my first time playing through Weather Institute. I have prepared. I am ready to fight the first person. But before that, I do need to get the team for it. Last time I did, like, basically the entirety of Route 119. Though there are a few things that I still need to do. Specifically, there's a few items, some hidden items that I missed. So, we're gonna start the stream with that. Afterwards, we're gonna go ahead and try our best to get through these fights. They're inherently just kind of... For those that don't know Weather Institute, of course, is taken over by Team Aqua. Team Aqua has a lot of annoying teams. Now, annoying is vague. So let's explain what annoying means in the context of Run and Bun. It means variance items. That is, bright powders, quick claws, focus bands, stuff like that. So to combat that, we kind of need to just get lucky or find ways to avoid the bad luck that can happen. That usually takes the shape of stuff like unmissable moves, priority, trying to think of what the other thing is. I don't remember, like removal of items or using indirect damage, stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to do here. Already written down a team for the first fight, so I'm just gonna load that up while I'm talking everyone through this. It's been a month, by the way. Not trying to avoid it, but like addressing it is kind of pointless. I'm just back to full-time working. Like, I already was kind of, but now I'm really. And that just kind of leaves very little room to do stuff like this. Especially when you're also just using your weekend to do other things. Most notably, in my case, I just been coaching a fair bit, playing matches a fair bit. I'm a volleyball player, like, local competition, nothing serious, but yeah, the consequence of doing that means that takes up evenings, and those evenings I cannot run calcs or just do streaming a bit. I also, like, because I'm back to full-time working, my days are filled with that and driving to work and shit, whereas usually I stream during the day, also partially because, like, I try to spend my evenings with my wife, you know, as a good husband should, I guess. That sounds a little bit condescending. I don't know. Let's put this on the right person. You need some seed. This one. You need a berry. As do you. And you need a berry. Okay, that should be everyone. Okay, I got everything, but the one thing that I want to get now is those items. I want to check what did I miss again. This was my addition sheet. I want my live sheet. That's not this one. One sec, I need my live master sheet, that's this one. For the people that have seen me before, which, welcome back, first of all. Impressive, you managed to claw your way back to this side of the woods, but the bottom one is a bit different, right? Compared to how it used to be. Between my last stream and this one, there's been one major update on the side of documentation. Specifically, Small Ant finished his Run and Bun play, his Nuzlocke, excellently, I might add, because like I saw the stream, or at least I tried to watch the stream, and I definitely watched the VOD, or the cut down version of it. Both very good, like very, very well done, very magnificently played through. But in that process, he made a new like master sheet, is the way he called it. And master sheet is apps because it has the trainer list, the item list, the encounter list, the new game plus shit, as well as links to various other resources, all grouped up in one single massive document. Wonderful, wonderful addition. Consequence is that everything looks a little bit different. I need to like restructure everything, which is why I'm a bit later than I intended to be. That and like I'm baking bread, or like, well, right now it's just shaping bread, so that takes time. Anyway, these look different, and as does the trainers, and they are just kind of a great addition. And yeah, I have the full intent to keep using it. So I am looking through my item list. There's a few things that I was like, oh yeah, I can get that. It's specifically the grass gem that I can get. So I'm gonna run back and do that real quick. It's supposedly, let's take a look. It's like all the way back at like the start of the route in a hidden grass patch. They should really, like, the one thing I would have done is like add the little ledge here, so you don't really have to run all the way back and then also turn off your bike every single time. This route in general is just annoying, right? Yeah. Here we go. So supposedly there is like the grass gem somewhere around here. At least that I have to, yeah. On the non-grass tile to the east of the cycling NPC. Is that here? It is! There we go. And surfing south past a bridge in the tall grass, there's supposedly a flying gem. Now, I would not be surprised if that flying gem is made available after Weather Institute. Especially considering the fact I can't really surf right now, right? Surfing south past a bridge. Because surfing south past a bridge in the tall grass implies that it's like not on this side, right? It would be on the other side of the water. Maybe I can, yeah, no, exactly. I kind of figured. So I'm gonna guess it's like on the opposite side and you can only get it later. And if that's true, then that's not really something I need to worry about right now. Looking at like if there's anything else, mega stones, no. The berries, no. Power herb, mental herb, life orb. Curse, no. Huh. I forgot that they give you curse. Yeah, whatever. Oh, and then I think that's everything. Yeah, that should be everything. Okay. I do need to go back though. I completely forgot I made it like I have like one heart skill to use. So let's run it back. Anyway, hope everyone's been doing well. The one thing, like, I was speaking about, like, playing the volleyball earlier. very surprising thing. Like, we are a team that promoted 2 years ago. Or, like, last year was our first year in a higher competition than usual. We have, like, divisions, classes, that are based on your level of play, right? I think pretty standard fare for the most part. So we are a team that promoted last year, and for all intents and purposes, came in dead last. Or at least close to it. Now, we had a fair few shifts between last year and this year in our team composition, but not that significant. Like, we had, like, a fair few leaves and a few additions, but the core few stayed the same. And for some reason, we're first in the exact same level. And we're not quite sure what happened. We will take it, but what the fuck? We're early in the competition, so it's not gonna last, but you know, it's still weird, right? The sheer difference. Okay. Going back to the actual game at hand. And I'm gonna grab my plan so I make sure that I don't forget anything. Yeah. To make this fight as safe as possible, we need to do one thing, and that is relearn Hisuian Electrode, the move Magical Leaf. We've used a TM for it before, so we need to use a hard skill. Without it, the first fight becomes basically extremely risky. And right now, at worst, we have like 2-ish KOs that can happen. In general, they shouldn't. In general, it should just be safe. But yeah, there's a small chance of like two KOs, and they require like very specific crits. And they're not run ending, and before it was basically get enough bad activations to guarantee you basically lose. There's an alternative that you could theoretically do, and that's just to give... actually, before anything else, I should say what I'm doing. Right, I'm relearning Magical Leaf, specifically on Melee. That is the plan. Now, granted, this feels like a bit of a waste, right? Relearning a 60 base power move that becomes a TM, like, after the next gym? You'd prefer not to. And in theory, I can, like, gamble it on a 1% chance, but that is such a specific gamble that I really don't want to do that. You know? So that. And I think as a result, I also believe I needed... I'm trying to see if I needed specifically... I think I needed it as well for like a later fight, Magical Leaf, but... Okay, no, you know what? I'm gonna be a risky bastard, and I'm gonna change one tiny thing. So, looking at the bottom, there is the... Oh, that's the wrong fight I even have queued up. Let's fix that real quick. Because this should be the focused fight, and not this one. It's the first Aqua Grunt that I need to focus on first. The second one has a lot of booms. That in and of itself is just scary. But like, it's not, that one is not run ending. The first one had some chances to be run ending. And I think I'm gonna take a risk. For the very, very simple reason that I believe the risk I would be like, it's a 1% chance that I'm risking. And I think I'm fine with that. I think I am fine with it. I don't like it, but I will make do. So we're gonna use the wide lens instead of the Miracle Seed on Melly. Is it there? Okay, yeah. You can see at the bottom, Barbarical is the reason we wanted Magical Leaf on it, on Melly. And Barbarical has a Bright Powder, which means every move has a 10% chance to miss. That is multiplicative, so it's not like from 80 to 70, but it's like from 80 to 72, right? With Magical Leaf cannot miss, no matter what happens. So, okay, if he like Phantom Forces, but you get the idea. And that means with that, and with a Miracle Seed equipped, we can guarantee that Barbarical is KO'd in the first turn. It requires a hard skill, which are a very sparse resource. So there's two ways to go about it. It's to use one of those hard skills and have him learn Magical Leaf, a move that I can probably relearn after the next gym, give or take. Or I use a wide lens and make it so that the Bright Powder accuracy reduction is mostly compensated. I say mostly though, because in theory there's still a 1% chance to miss. Because if you add the two together, the wide lens gives a 10% boost and the Bright Powder gives a 10% drop. That means it goes to 90% and then to 99%, or to 110 and then to 99. Same difference, right? I think the neighbors are moving. I mean, I know the neighbors are moving, but yeah, so if you hear like weird sounds outside, that's what that is. Anyway, so you can either risk 1%, or you can just use the hard skill. I'm gonna risk the 1%. In part because I have been quite frivolous with my hard skills and I don't want to waste more. Especially, and this feels like a waste, you know? It feels like a waste that I just have to use. And I'd rather avoid it. So we're gonna just take the gamble. 1% chance for this thing to go all the way to the shitter, but might as well. No risk, no reward. I'm not much of a gambler, but that's part of the reason why I really don't like these fights. They feel like they're unsolvable, you know? Like you have to take risks. There's no optimal solution for you to find. Yeah, there's kind of, but everything just feels like no matter what you do, you get lucky or you don't. And if you just don't, then you're just kind of screwed. I think there was an item there, but whatever. So, yeah. Try it. Okay, so we're just gonna take that 1% chance. Is that a dumb move? Maybe. I want to make sure that I did the right one. It's really more about do you get unlucky or don't. Absolutely, Blue Beam. Yes. It is just get lucky. And don't get 1%ed. That's the name of the game. I want to make sure that I didn't do the wrong lens. I didn't do the wrong lens. I know I didn't, but you know, you can never be too safe. Let me quickly... actually, I was gonna say I might as well show off the plan, but no. I think it's more fun to just see it in action straight away. This is the team. There's a few risks that we're taking. And the first risk is the aforementioned white lens shenanigans. That's a 1%er. If the 1% hits, we are fucked. Plain and simple. That's... okay, that's not entirely true. I could get stone-edged and it misses, and then we are fine. But in every other scenario, we are fucked in that 1%. There is, I want to make sure that I say it right, there is a risk that I lose Gordy here. Gordy is admittedly not the biggest deal to lose, though having good rock stab is sparse. That said, I have also a Hamilton. We do some Hamilton gaming around here, so it's fine. Gordy, that said, Gordy is also one of my fastest mons, and that's also a thing you kind of lose. So, give and take, you know? It's a good Lycanroc, but it's a Lycanroc. The problem is with that one, it may also cascade into maybe losing. I want to make sure that I say the right mon. I think it was Berg that I was risking. Yeah, but we will see. Let's get this plan in motion and hope that I just didn't shoot myself in the foot massively by just saying, you know what, 1%? That's never gonna happen to me whatsoever. Okay. Yep, okay, let's go. First fight of the day, and let's see if I didn't miss anything and I didn't fail the 1%. Okay, they have names? I have never noticed that. I've never noticed that they gave the grunts actual names here. Oh, that's cool. So, Barbarical is strong and has the Bright Powder. With the Bright Powder, moves can miss. We use a White Lens to kind of hope that it doesn't happen. It's a 10% chance to miss, then a 10% addition to not missing, so it's a 1% chance to miss effectively. If I do miss, he's gonna set up Stealth Rock, and that can screw me over, but might be fine. It's probably not good though. And if he Stone Edges me, that is gonna be a death sentence. So we're just gonna hit this. Okay. Thank God, because that is the biggest risk gone, and that saved me a heart skill already. This baits in Scolipede. Scolipede here is, there he is. Scolipede here is going to click Pin Missile, because Pin Missile sees a kill. Pin Missile, multi-hit move, it just calculates with 3 hits. That's all you need to know. I'm going to Volt Switch and do some chip to it. The reason we do Volt Switch here, we needed to do it this way is because we needed a bit of chip, and the only way to actually do that was with Melee, because it's like the only one I have that is faster and able to hit it decently well. So that's done. It's gone to the Pin Missile, and we are going to take that. I want to make sure that I do the right mon with Gyarados, with Misty. Intimidate it, and with that Intimidate, the Pin Missile against it is gonna do pittance. Barring, like, crits. Barring crits. But 1 crit is fine, it's not gonna be the end of the world. The main thing that this causes is Speed Boost. That's one, but the one I was actually focusing on, or at least the one that I was more considering, was the baiting that it does. Scolipede now is going to click Rock Slide. Here's the second risk. If Gordy gets crit, and it's crit non-mineral, so like the 1 out of 16 with a 15 out of 16, we're gonna lose Gordy here. But in every other scenario, we are fine. So hopefully this Rock Slide just doesn't crit. And the Monkey Paw curls. It doesn't. Okay. Okay, that is all the risk gone. So now we can just finish his job. Scolipede is now KO'd with Excel Rock. We needed that bit of chip from the Volt Switch to guarantee that the Excel Rock kills. And there we go. Good. This should bait in Starmie. And with this HP amount, so long as we were above 86, we were guaranteed to see... want to make sure, yeah. Guaranteed to see Surf. And if it's Surf, then we're going to go back to Melee. Oh, God. Yeah, because it was guaranteed to be Surf there. Surf, annoying move, not the biggest deal, so... There's some good chip. We're going to continue that chip line and do a Volt Switch. Why did I say it's good chip? No, it's decent damage, but not the scariest. So we Volt Switch now and go to Will, because this was going to be a guaranteed Ice Beam. Will can take that Ice Beam. And in doing so, Will baits Thunderbolts. You know, it resists Ice, it resists Water, it resists Psychic, and especially that Psychic... No, wait, it's Psychic, not Psyshock. But anyway, it baits Thunderbolts. Melee quad resists Thunderbolts. There we go. And with Melee now in on the Thunderbolts, takes a bit more. We now need to Volt Switch. And we need to go to... What did I write down again? Okay, yeah, there it is. Alright, Volt Switch is used, and now Starmie's done too. 3 out of 5 done. We need to specifically go to Berg here. Because Berg, in this position, thanks to the moves that it has, should bait the Malamar. Perfect. And Malamar is faster than us, which is annoying, and is able to not kill us barely. Because Night Slash deals on a crit 162 HP. Malamar can also use Hypnosis though, which is really annoying. We have a Chesto Berry for that. We U-turn, and this is the other annoying thing. Not really a big deal, because we were slower anyway. The fact we were slower was actually a good thing here, in fact. Super effective, and there we go. That looks like a crit would have killed, right? Or am I missing something? No, it's 100. No, 101. That's fine. Anyway, with the U-turn damage dealt, we can now go back to Gordy. Because Night Slash would never have KO'd, and now with the damage from the U-turn, Excel Rock also kills Malamar. We need to do it specifically that way to guarantee the Night Slash superpower would have done way too little. And not only that, it would not have been clicked because it's a setup move, considering it's Malamar's contrary, and there's a whole lot of reason why it doesn't click that. I'm not going to go into that too deep. We can finish this fight with one more Pokemon incoming. Breloom here sees a kill with random move between Mach Punch and Bullet Seed. And we wanted to guarantee Mach Punch. As a matter of fact, we know it's guaranteed to click Mach Punch because Mach Punch has priority. It's not going to click Bullet Seed. Bruno can come in on the Mach Punch. And hopefully take that perfectly fine. Mach Punch? Yup. We have a Citrus Berry in the case of emergencies. I don't even remember why we needed it, but looking at it, it's going to be fine. Breloom here has a Bright Powder, so we need to click Aerial Ace to kill it. He's going to Mach Punch again. And we are done. Perfectly riskless, like we always do. Okay. One of my prep fights done. Jazz is all jazzed out. Quickly heal up. Also get rid of the items. Just clean up, you know. That's the only item I'm not gonna clean up is the Ampharocyte there. And we'll put it in the bag, and here we go. Everyone did exactly what they needed to do. Grunt number 2. Grunt number 2, we risked nothing, but we do need to do a little bit of a a little bit of training, and specifically, we need to put someone to sleep. We can do that perfectly fine. We can go to all the way back if we want to. I'm not going to do that. I have like a tool for it, but for all intents and purposes, I ran back, right? Wink, wink. For this next fight, we're gonna need Silent, Lana, we need Mela, we need Viola, we need Berg, and we need Clay. And we need to do a little bit of leveling and items and shit. Let's grab everything. We are going to first Endless Candy up Silent to 65. We need the full 65 to get like the right amount of damage and bulk, I believe. We need Torkoal, we need Mela. Generally speaking, you want, especially your Detect and Protect mons, which both Silent and Mela are, as low as possible. This run back does seem very annoying. Have to go all the way back to Mauville. I know, right? This is probably the longest run you have to do, with the exception of Route 111, right? No, even Route 111 is not as annoying because you can actually bike that. Yeah, this run back is probably the most annoying in the game. And we need Viola all the way up to 65. Berg was already at 65. Perfect. Then we need to get the items. Let's see. We're going to use a very valuable item here, or at least we're going to use it as a backup. Lana is going to get a row-up berry. We only have 2 of those, so they're extremely, extremely valuable. This was the only way I could see this fight go safely, because at worst, this means I lose a row-up berry, and at best, nothing at all. Anyway, first, let me show off the opponent. Beaten and focus. And as that is loading, I'm gonna quickly get everyone else up to speed. I need a citrus on Silent, as well as on Nonneberg. I need one on Viola. And then we need the silver powder. Where is that? I think it's all the way at the top, right? Yeah, there it is, silver powder. For Berg, we need black glasses. Where are my black glasses? Black glasses. For Clay. And we need another mildly valuable item in the Agua berry for Mela. It's not as valuable because citrus berry tends to be a bit more flexible than the Iapapa and Agua berry are, but yeah, they're also kind of sparse, so yeah. I got a ping. Oh, that's there. I don't care. Okay, where is what I wanted to get? Not this. I needed... Oh yeah, I need the tool. That's... There we are. Okay, so right now, the thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put Clay down to 198. And we're also going to pre-sleep Berg. So if we exit out and exit back in, magic. Or tool assisted running. Tool assisted words. Tool assisted run and button. Tarb, if you want to shorten it, I guess. Okay. For the most part, this fight is scary because it has a bunch of mons that can blow the fuck up. And also just, like, either be fast and have the ability to dodge your moves with Bright Powders, survive your moves with Focus Band, or Quick Claw Explosion. None of those are fun. But hopefully we have enough tools to kind of either manage them or just avoid them altogether. It's probably more along the lines of managing than avoiding altogether, but we're gonna see. For this first one, I need Prima at the front. That is indeed the case. Lana is gonna start this fight, and from there we're gonna show off or talk through it as we go. Grunt number 2, what is your name actually? The boss got interested in the research they have going here, so he sent us out. You quit meddling. Oh yeah, the Aqua team wants the raid. Anyway, Team Aqua. Why does this one not have a name? Boo! Hi, Alex. Alright, Lana is our lead. Lana outspeeds and KOs Drampa most of the time with Moonblast. There's one, like a mineral doesn't kill. What we're gonna do is just hope that that doesn't happen. And if it does, we have backup. That is a Roa Berry. Roa Berry is a rare item that if you get hit by a special attack, you eat it, and the one that hit you takes 1/16th or 8th, I don't remember, of their max HP. In any case, if Drampa were to survive, that kills it, and it's not explicitly damaging, or like, at least it's not blocked by Focus Band. That's the main thing. So if the Focus Band procs or I get a mineral, I've got that as a backup. Let's see what happens. Moonblast, just KO. And yes. Alright, this is the safest line that we have. This should bait in Ferrothorn, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Ferrothorn, and Ferrothorn sees a kill here. I'm gonna quickly get the damage calculator up because I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. For this one, I only wrote down like vague 1v1s that I want to force. Right, and if I have this and then Prima, I'm quickly checking, then it should be that the Pharaoh sees a kill with Power Whip. So it's not going to click Explosion, it's only going to click Power Whip. Viola can take that Power Whip. Alright. Intimidated. Neuter the boom a little bit. And the Power Whip as well, of course. That is non-crit, by the way. That's insane damage, honestly. Now, in this situation, it's going to either Iron Head or Explosion. Mela can take both now. With the -1 from the Intimidate from Viola, Mela can take an Explosion and live it. In fact, can even live Iron Head into Explosion, if I'm not mistaken. Double checking that, yeah, it should be able to. Because this dealt pitiful damage, right? That was, in fact, a mineral. And right now, Heat Wave would kill. But there's a small chance that Quick Claw Explosion happens. So to kind of, you know, waste a turn, see if that happens, we're gonna Protect. Just let it blow up. It's a small chance, but it can happen, so might as well give it a shot. It didn't work. Oh well, then we Heat Wave now. And this was the reason why we needed to be explicitly at level 63 with Mela. Mela at level 63 by 1 point outspeeds Ferrothorn, despite the lower, or no, actually the equal speed stat between the two. Therefore, this was why we needed to do it, and it worked out perfectly. This should bait in the Almstar. Yes, Almstar. An Almstar here is going to click a random move that is not Rain Dance, because it sees a kill with every single one of its moves. We have... What was the idea again? I want to make sure that I've written it down somewhere, but I don't remember. Ah, right. We just pivot in Sceptile, who can OHKO with Magical Leaf. That was the plan. He can take a Power Gem, he can take an Earth Power, he can take a Surf. Power Gem is the worst outcome here, but it's fine. The Citrus Berry was there just in case. With the low special defense of Amistar, the decently okay special attack of Sceptile, and the Magical Leaf that cannot miss against the Amistar, which is holding a Bright Powder, Magical Leaf here is a guaranteed KO. So that is 3 out of 5 done from this fight. And if I'm not mistaken, this should be in the 126. I think that's outside of the range, so I think there's Executor coming in. Right? Oh, it's Walrein. Okay. Alright, well, Walrein is going to click Freeze Dry. And because of that, we're going to do something very funny with this AI. So, Walrein is faster than most of this team. It's faster than Lana, than Silent, not than Silent, but it's faster than Lana, Mela, and the only one that's actually relevant there is Lana. It's faster than Lana. That's basically what I want to go to. But this Walrein has Curse, and after one speed drop from Curse, Lana suddenly is faster. We are going to abuse the hell out of that. The way we're going to do that is switch to Berg here. Berg can take every single move that Walrein can throw at it decently well. And because he is asleep, Curse in this situation is basically played like Bulk Up and gets a +3 to its score. And that means it should always click Curse here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if that's true. Yes, okay. And with this Curse now in place, at -1 speed, Primarina, or in this case Lana, is faster. And we can encore it. Well done with that Curse, please keep going, we say. And indeed it does. It's very proud of its cursing. So it keeps cursing us out. And all the while, does nothing. Like a true Showdown player that just keeps flaming their opponent, they're only gonna curse. And really not gonna do anything of value. In the meantime, we're gonna just Moonblast it down slowly. And every time the curse or the encore ends, we're just gonna encore it again. And the leftovers every single time, because that is just kind of what happens every single time. Moonblast again. This was, by the way, irrelevant whether or not we got hit by the Drampa, because we were kind of guaranteed to get the Bulk Up there or the Curse there. So, yeah, this was bound to happen. And Lana being at full health makes it easier, for sure. The Encore ended, and for sure, I could like Encore it again, but Moonblast kills, so why would I? It's a guaranteed 3-8 KO. And with a crit, it's even more guaranteed. Alright. Last Mon. One more remaining, and it is one of the boomers. Executor. The big boomer, because he's actually an old gen. Thankfully, because we have lowered basically of no KO'd everyone but that Executor, it's not gonna explode anymore. It's the last Mon available. And that means here, against Primarina, it's always going to Energy Ball, and we can take that with Viola. We had Privet Crook on guaranteed Psychic. And this should be Energy Ball, which it takes nothing from. Well, not nothing, but not a lot. Now, at 132, there is a chance for Psychic to KO me. And we'd prefer to avoid that. We have a Citrus Berry on Viola, though. So we can kind of force it down a tiny bit to have its berry be activated, but I'm trying to think if that actually makes a difference. No, because that best at be at 135, right? So that doesn't actually do anything. Alright, in that case, we're just going to use Viola, and we're just going to try and hit this Bug Buzz. If we get Quick Claw Psychicked, we hope for a not max roll. Or not high roll specifically. There's like 5 rolls that would KO. Viola would have served us greatly up until this point and will fall off from here. So I'm fine with if that happens. Okay. Please, low roll. And he crits. Viola, I'm sorry, but thank you. Okay. What was my backup plan here again? I'm trying to look. It was clay, but... Because I really don't want to lose Lana, right? That's the one that would hurt the most. Torkoal lives 1 hit guaranteed and can Heat Wave for decent damage, I guess. But from there, surely... No, it doesn't. It doesn't KO with Heat Wave, actually. It's lonely nature. It's a few levels underleveled. It deals at minimum 71%, at most 84%. So Heat Wave is not a kill. I can still use it, and it should still work just fine. At least for the first hit, but after that, I don't know what we can do. So, my alternative would be to use Clay. But the problem with that is if I get Quick Claw again, I get guaranteed KO'd by Energy Ball. I had pre-damaged Clay specifically to always bait Energy Ball so that it would be able to, so that Viola could switch in on the Energy Ball just fine. That was the idea. And like not bait Explosion in other of the however branching lines from Quick Claws and Focus Bands and whatnot, you know? So it boils down to, do I want to gamble the Quick Claw and basically have the KO just in 1 hit with knockoff? Or do I risk it and use Mela and use Heat Wave there, right? That's the 2 options. The third is kind of just go to Berg and just hope I wake up in time, I guess? I guess that's like the third option, right? And then maybe like eventually go to Lana or Silent to do whatever. I think I'm gonna risk... the one general idea I had here was to use Clay. I'm just gonna stick to that, because we had this basically in case of the Quick Claw proc. So just don't do it again. Okay. Okay. Viola, thank you. It sucks to lose it this way, because we played this as best as we could, but we just could not dodge the Quick Claw. That's really all it is. Okay. In the grand scheme of things, losing Viola is not the biggest deal, okay? Yeah, like, I have 2 other Intimidators, I've got Flying type, like, for all intents and purposes, Misty just kind of outclasses Viola, right? The only place it doesn't is like taking grass type attacks, but that's such a small niche that and for which I also have other mons between Kiawe and Mela and Winona, Faulkner. Like, I had enough to where I don't, like, it's not a heavy loss. It's just a sad one, you know? I did not... It's a sad moment to lose, like, a mon that was very valuable to most of this game. Up until this point, at least. Or at least, like, the first 3-ish gems? 4-ish gems? Yeah. Alright, we gotta move on, because if we just keep focusing on this one, we're just gonna stay sad. Alright, let's clear up those 2 fights, and we're gonna look at the next one. The next one actually was the easiest for me, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I have my plan here, and it was the safest, mostly because I'm sure you probably looked at it during prep, but did Zorak not KO with Sucker or not survive a low kick crit? The main problem with that, with Zoroark, I did look at it. Sucker is not even close. At level 65, Sucker deals 60% minimum without black glasses. It also does not survive a low kick crit at all. It's not close there either. Like, even a low roll crit was a guaranteed 104%. Here, actually, let me just show that off. Here. Zoroark is paper thin and not nearly as strong as you think it is. So, Zoroark would not have helped. Granted, this is with crits. If there was no crit, maybe? But after one attack drop, it would have just gone for Energy Ball, which I guess it would have served the same purpose as Krook, but Krook also just kind of helped with the Intimidate shuffling. So, in practice, Zoroark would not have been more of a help here. So, yeah. Let's go to this next one. And you've already kind of can see what I have planned here. And I'm just gonna quickly get everyone. So we're basically battle ready. I've prepped these like pretty completely. All the like non-boss fights, right? All the grunt fights. I've basically prepared. For this one, we need Missy again. We gonna keep Prim. We're gonna add Kiawe. We're gonna add Wolfric. Very rare bring Wolfric. This is the second time it sees any fights whatsoever. And we need Cress. And also a surprise return, Gordy. Gordy is also rare to bring for me. Okay, let's also quickly clean up the items on everyone. You don't need any. You don't need any. You don't need any. You are gonna quickly give me back that Roa Berry. And we're gonna give you a nothing. Huh. Okay. I just need a Rossberry on Basque. On Cress. Where is the Ross? Up. There we go. And we need a Heartstone on Gordy. And that should be it. Heartstone. It's gonna be here. Oh no, we also need a Dragon Fang on Kiawe. Dragon Fang. Where is it? There it is. And finally, we're gonna need to level everyone up. Turt needs to be at 65. Let's do that. 59, 60, he gets Overheat. I do remember I wanted to swap something, but I feel like I don't remember what it was. I did need Overheat, right? No, I needed Dragon Pulse. Anyone got any recommendations? Because I don't actually remember what's actually good here. I think Overheat over Explosion is my first guess. Either that or Flamethrower, right? But Flamethrower is something you can just kind of... That's way too valuable, right? Consistent damage. For reference, this is... As of right now, it has 3 special attack IVs, but it is modest. So... Give and take. My personal feeling is to get rid of Explosion, because it's such a, you never click this button until you do. But the keyword there is until you do, right? You want to have some explosions in the back for like double battles where you just kind of need to press that button. Third alternative is Rapid Spin. Honestly, No, I do like Rapid Spin is like the weak option, and having the physical move that isn't named Explosion. I need Dragon Pulse. I think I'm gonna get rid of Explosion for Overheat. I think that is still, like, they're equally valuable, right? Explosion maybe a little more because it's just that much more base power, but TM for Explosion after Pyre Attack, but before Maxi 2 for reference. Kind of tough to judge. How many Spinners Booms do you have? Okay, my team right now, actually, is my team thing updated? It is not, but let me fix that. I think I upgraded this a while back. Yeah, it is a little bit ago, but this is my team, basically. And, there's no new encounters here. This is from before the first fight of Route 119, and I didn't lose anyone in the meantime. I only leveled up a bit and, changed a few movesets. In terms of spinners, I've got Torkoal, and that's it. If I'm not mistaken. No, I have Torkoal and I have Delmise. In terms of exploders right now, it's Turtonator, it's potentially Torkoal, but it doesn't have it. It is Camerupt. I have a lot of overlap to that end, right? I've got Camerupt and Torkoal and Turtonator, all three which kind of fulfill a similar role, right? Those three are my exploders. I think. I'm trying to see if I'm missing anything. No, that's my 3 exploders. So I have 3 booms and 3 spinners. Or 2 booms and 3 spinners. Because, yeah, one of them doesn't actually have explosion, just can scale it. So, yeah. It's hard to... I agree that it's hard to judge which is best. My first instinct is always, how often do you click it versus how often will you click Overheat? But the problem is not so much how often do you click it, but more so Explosion is just, you need it for key fights, right? There's the Pyre Attack, basically, and Maxi 2. That's, the main 2. TM for Flamethrower, but I don't know when you get it. I believe... I have, 4 fire types. Yeah, I've got, surprisingly a lot of fire types. I've 5, even. I have Hamilton. I have 6? What? I have Camerupt, I have Turtonator, I have Torkoal, I have Hisuian Arcanine, I have Pyroar, and I have Talonflame. 6 fire types in this box. So I guess, indeed, how necessary is Overheat? If I need it, I'll probably use Pyroar instead. Because Pyroar is stronger for the most part. Trying to see, 157 versus 137. Yeah, it's a fair bit stronger if I want to Overheat with it. So I'm gonna quickly check if I need it for the 3rd or 4th fight, the Grunt 4-5 fight. Turtonator. Yeah, Flannery gives Flamethrower, so I do have it. But it's, it's rare, and I think it's better to give it to someone as coverage. Right? Or at least, I guess at worst I can relearn it. Yeah, at best, if push comes to shove, I could relearn it. but I don't think that's necessary, right? I think I'm gonna just skip overheat. If I need the nuke overheat button, I'll use Pyroar. I think that's gonna be my reasoning, and then yes, I have the flamethrower TM. I can use that elsewhere. So we're not gonna learn overheat. It's a good move, and it's a worthwhile consideration. Oh well. And with that, we are almost ready. I need to do one last thing. And that is I need to pre-poison Gordy. Or specifically, pre-toxic Gordy. And Gordy is also our lead, that it already is, so pre-toxic 1. And now he should be 178 toxic poison. Alright. Let's have the move tutor for Fire Blast if you really need to show kill or something. Exactly. Alright, we are at the ready for the next fight. And we're gonna lead with Gordy, the rest of the team. And I think we are ready to go. There's nothing I missed in terms of items, nothing in terms of damages. We should be good. Let's get this third grunt out of the way. The instant created a type of Pokemon that has something to do with the weather. We're here to take them. You're not going to take anything, and it's not going to be of much value anyway for you. Aqua Grunt would like to battle. Again, no name. Why did the female one have a name and the male one didn't? Gordy against Porygon Z. As you can tell, Porygon Z has download. One of the good things about Gordy is that Gordy has a higher special defense than defense, meaning that Porygon Z will upgrade or level up its... Not level up, just boost its attack, not its special attack. Which, all in all, good because Porygon Z is a special attacker, right? Gordy is one of the very few mons that I have that can show a fast 2-hit KO, specifically with a Heartstone equipped. We're gonna do that with double Rock Slide. In return, Gordy is also one of the very few mons that cannot get 2-shot. Or at least, no, not get 1-shot, even with a crit. The reason we do it this way is because... yeah, so that's why we use Lycanroc. But there's one tiny thing that can happen. Ice Beam can freeze us. To remedy that, we pre-Toxic Gordy. Toxic, not Poison, because Toxic in 2 turns deals a tiny bit lower damage than a actual, like, the regular Poison. All that talk, only for us to click Rock Slide twice here. There's number 1, and it deals about half, and he flinched. It's not gonna make any difference because whatever comes in can one-shot Gordy. So, yeah, no worries there. Haxorus is gonna come in. Gordy did its job perfectly. All it needed to do was just KO the Porygon Z, which was not the scariest of the fight, but the scarier of the fight. Alright, Haxorus. Haxorus here is going to click a random attack, is what I have written down, but that is not necessarily true. At 145, it's going to click either Aqua Tail or Iron Head. That means I could pivot to Lana. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pivot straight to Misty. Misty here intimidates Haxorus. No shit. And it does not see any kills from me. It's going to use up its Aqua Tail, Water Gem, boosting that attack. That's not that much damage, right? And in doing so, that guarantees that we are going to get hit with Dual Chop this turn. Dual Chop does nothing to Lana, right? So let's switch to Lana. The reason we do this is specifically because we need Haxorus to start going for... Is for that we need Haxorus at -2. I don't remember why we need it. I do remember why we need it. It's because Kiawe can then live a dual chop. Alright, we are gonna go back to Misty, bring it down to -2. And in doing so, this should bait Iron Head, because Primarina shows a kill with Moonblast. Iron Head does nothing to Gyarados. Nothing. Right? So he's now at -2. I'm gonna go back to Lana. And if he didn't click Dragon Dance, we can go straight to Turd. He did click Dragon Dance, that's annoying. We've got a few turns to facilitate the actual 1v1. We're gonna go back to Misty. It's like a 50-50 every single time, right? That Misty's in. Up until it actually sees a kill on Misty, which can happen. But we've got a bit of leeway, and like in practice, Misty's not gonna take that much until I get crit. And because an Iron Head crit against Gyarados deals at most 55, I've got some turns. I'm gonna go to Lana again. He's now at -2. So he sees Dual Chop again as its highest damaging move. He's now at -2, click Dual Chop. He's not gonna click Dragon Dance here, we can go to Kiawe safely. Perfect. Because at -2, Kiawe at level 65 can take an Iron Head into a Dual Chop perfectly fine and one-shot it with a Dragon Fang boosted Dragon Pulse. I don't remember why we needed him at -2, not -1, because it looks like -1 would have done the trick as well. Whatever. Better to be safe, right? Anyway, that is 2 out of 4 down. Oh, I remember. It's because Weavile comes in here and at lower HPs that could have baited Pursuit, and we did not want to see Pursuit. Instead, here it's going to either knock off or triple Axle. Both of those are arranged to kill, and Wulfric can take both of those with absolute ease. One of the bulkiest physical mons that we have access to, if not for the atrocious typing, it would have been an incredible mon to have. Okay, he takes triple Axle, he can take that absolutely for free. This baits knockoff, that would hurt, but that's fine. We're gonna retaliate with a Gyro Ball. We are itemless, so even with this Dark Gem boost, at most deals 52 without a crit. Exactly, this dealt like 43 even. I think that's a mineral. Anyway, Gyro Ball, at minimum dealt like 115%, so clean kill. Weavile's way too fast, right? Finally, we've got Glowbro. Galarian Slowbro. And Galarian Slowbro here is going to click one of Flamethrower and Shell Sidearm. It's not going to click Scald. No, it's not going to click Scald. Crest can take both of those moves. And Flamethrower is probably the most fine of the... no, not really. Could burn. Okay, didn't. That means we're safe. Because Poltergeist here... Here's a fun thing I learned recently. Poltergeist is not implemented correctly. Because Poltergeist cannot miss. This would have been real good to know a couple fights ago, because that would have like mitigated one risk I had. But too little too late. For now, we have learned it, and Poltergeist here is a guaranteed 2-shot even through a burn. Not exactly, but through 2 burns it is. Shell Sidearm, yeah, that does nothing. There is the Quick Claw, which can hurt him. And I saw a Poltergeist thing a while ago in a Run a Bun video. Yeah, I know, right? I also learned it. I don't even remember when I saw it. I think I just read through Sman's bug list, and I saw Poltergeist, and I was like, huh, interesting. Today I learned. As a matter of fact, it not only can it not miss, it can even hit through like every single form of semi-invulnerability. So fly, dive, dig, and even like Phantom and Shadow Force do absolutely nothing to block Poltergeist. Scary on the opposite end when you fight like a Dragapult or something, but when we use it, beautiful. Incredible addition and incredible knowledge to have now. Also means that I should not have kept Spiral Check on Basque Legion, but that's... I could have known the bug, that's on me. Oh well. One more grunt fight, and it's a double battle. This one is the most meticulous one I planned for today. I do also want to do the fight after. Squeak. Alright, Squeak's done. I didn't want to do the fight after as well, but that one is just kind of hard. Like, because there were such diverging lines of what I could lose and gain, right? On like mons I could keep and lose. I didn't want to pre-plan it and only have to do only for words. Only for me to have to do it all over again because I lost Viola, Gordy, whoever, right? Anyway, we are gonna go with Poppy. We're gonna go with Surge. We want... actually, these two again. We want Sceptile, and we want... who's the last one? It is Faulkner. These 6 are gonna fight this fight. And they're all gonna be crucial in their own special little way. First off, we don't need the Dragon Fang for you anymore. We need nothing. We need you to have a Citrus. We need you to have... I have written down Wide Lens, but I think that should be Zoom Lens. But I'm gonna double check that. It's Zoom Lens. I need a Zoom Lens for you. It should be like here. Oh, there it is. Nice. You need a Zoom Lens. You need a Citrus. And that's it in terms of items. No, it's not. We need a Charcoal on Faulkner, which we have 2 of, so it should be somewhere high up, right? I was very low in my bag already. Okay, there it is, Charcoal. It's like, this fight is the hardest to plan for, and I think we're gonna do it a little bit unorthodox, because I would assume that you're gonna focus the right side first, and we're gonna do the left side instead. To do that, we're gonna need to do some pre-damaging. Where is my scripty boy? It's over here. Gonna put you back on my main screen. Okay, we need to pre-damage. I want to make sure that I put the right mon everywhere. We need to pre-damage Surge to 125. We need to pre-damage Silent to 60. And we need to pre-burn Surge. This looks very weird because why would I not just pre-damage Surge a little bit lower? It's for like some specific move baiting. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I needed to do it specifically this way. Alright, and with that we should be ready. I'm gonna quickly run through this one, because this one is of course the most finicky, and that's just kind of inherent to double battles, right? So let's go ahead and calc a bit. You can already see kind of the plan written down here. The general idea with these 6 mons, I'm gonna quickly get the 6 mons in question. You're gonna stay you, and you. So the lead couple is these two, Berserker and Alolan Raichu. On the first turn, we're gonna fake out Dracozolt or Arctozolt, excuse me, and Arctozolt is just not gonna do anything. Pretty clear, right? Ninetales Alola sets up their Hail, and it's permanent, and that's gonna hurt us. Thankfully, Berserker with Bullet Punch cleanly KOs Alolan Ninetales with a quad weakness, so that one is clear cut. Raichu takes burn damage and hail damage. So that brings it down to 105 HP. That 105 is very specific, because that means that only Icicle Crash kills on the Arctozolt. No, that's not entirely true. It's that or Bolt Beak, because he outspeeds, and he knows he outspeeds, so one of those two is guaranteed to kill, and he always kills. That's a 105. Leopard also sees a kill with Assurance, so both of those are going to go into that slot. And that means I switch out Alolan Raichu to Turtonator. And Kiawe here is going to take the Bolt Beak or the Icicle Crash. He cannot be crit, and he takes the Assurance, which basically deals double damage. So combine those two, and at worst, he's at 26 HP. That's manageable. I also have a Citrus, so it's not even that high. No, he doesn't have a Citrus. He's going to be at 15. So he's going to bait a random move from Arctozolt. That's fine. He survives with 14 HP minimum, I've written down. So I believe myself on that. Then, in the meantime, Berserker is a is a guaranteed one-shot on Leopard, and because he's slower, Iron Tail is guaranteed to hit 100% of the time. That's what the zoom lens is for. And that means the left side is done. That means we only have Arctozolt and Arctovish left. Arctozolt is then going to be clicking a random move, which could be Blizzard. That is fine. We're going to switch in Avalugg on the one side, and we're going to switch in Alolan Raichu on the other side. Why? That's not correct. Oh, no, I have it wrong way around. Avalugg is going to switch in on the Turtonator side, and Berserker is going to switch in on the... Or Alolan Raichu is going to switch in on the other side. And in doing that, he's going to take a Blizzard, and even with a crit, at worst, I live on 5. And with the Citrus, I, heal back up perfectly fine. Combine those two, and Raichu Alola can then fake out again. He needs to take 40 more from the heal and the burn chip. Alright. I need the burn, and there we have the burn. The burn I need specifically to not get frozen. And I couldn't manage it with a... I need the Citrus Berries, so I needed to use the burn. Alright. Then I fake out, and I switch to Talonflame. Talonflame is very peculiar. Talonflame is one of the few mons that outspeeds, even through the hill, the Slush Rush boosted hill mons, Arctozolt and Arctofish. Both have Slush Rush, and therefore have double speed. Even with that double speed, Talonflame is faster. With the fake out, and then the Flare Blitz with a Charcoal boost, is guaranteed to KO. Then in comes Dracovish, and with the fake out, it's a free switch, and in the meantime, Alolan Raichu switches to Sceptile. Sceptile is going to be at 60, and at level 65 with 60 HP, it's going to be in Overgrow range, and Arctovish is supposed to be KO'd with Energy Ball. Oh, I have it at 60 because it's going to take some Hail Chip. And with the Hail Chip, which is a little bit, Like, let's say it's 10. Let's even say it's 5. At 55, it's already below overgrow range. Energy Ball kills the Arctofish. And I need specifically the Talon out because he can Tailwind. And thanks to Dynamic Speed, okay, yeah. Everything here checks out. This was a bit rambly. I'm well aware it was, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything here. I didn't. Every single turn of this one is carefully and meticulously planned. We are ready to go. Is the team all set up? Yes, they are in the right order. And I don't need anything else. I could, for the fun of it, give a Miracle Seed, but I might as well not, right? I might as well, it's right there. Okay. Double check that everyone is at the right level, right HP. Yeah. During Search takes 10, then he's gonna at worst take 9, so he's gonna absolutely be below the threshold. Okay, that was a lot of words. Now let's see it in action. This is the team, like I mentioned. Gonna redo that. This is the team, like I mentioned. And with these 6, we should be able to do it. Let's get this on the road. We're Team Aqua. We appear whenever anything rare is found. And don't tell me you're looking for that weather Pokemon too. That's a no-no. We were here to get it first. But we're gonna try to get it eventually. That's not right now, though. First off, the 2 Aqua Grunts. They don't have a... Why did the first one have a name? Interesting. Okay. Anyway, here are the Ninetales and the Arctozols. Ninetales sets up the snow warning and therefore the hail. The hail means that the Arctozol is faster than basically everything on my team, but not everything, just almost everything. For example, it's not going to be faster than a Fake Out, nor a Bullet Punch. And Ninetales Alola is neither. Ninetales Alola is one shot by this Bullet Punch, and the Fake Out here deals unsubstantial, like unconsequential chip. The main thing it's there for is just to make sure that Arctozol does nothing this turn. Flinch. And now here comes the Hill Chip. Thankfully, one of the scares of this fight was that Poppy could be killed by Arctozol's Bolt Beak, right? Thankfully, that at minimum deals, at most deals 148. So that's not going to happen for another while. Right now, Leopard and Arctozol both see a kill onto Surge. And that's not good, so we're going to switch out to Kiawe. In the meantime, Poppy is free to do whatever it wants. And whatever it wants in this case is Iron Tail the Leopard. We gave Poppy a zoom lens, because Iron Tail is 85% accurate. With a zoom lens equipped, it's going to be a guaranteed hit onto Leopard. Kiawe here at full HP, level 65. The Icicle Crash or the Bolt Beak, both of those do basically the same damage. Combined with the Assurance, will never kill Kiawe. At worst, it would have dealt, I believe it would have put it down to 15. Alright, now, another tick of Hail, and again, Kiawe here is going to go down to 23, perfectly fine. Arctozol sees a random move, kills. Wolfric can take every single move Arctozol can do. One of those moves, however, is Blizzard. Poppy could stay in here and do whatever it wants, but Poppy cannot do much more here, so we're going to go to Surge. Surge can take the Blizzard that Arctozol can click here, barely. Even a crit brings it down to 5 HP. It does Bolt Beak, so it's not really relevant, but in theory that could have happened. And now, here we have another free turn available. Wolfric here heals with its Ice Body. And Surge uses its Citrus. Wasted it a little bit, but it was there for crit insurance, basically. Wolfric could take every move, but it cannot really do much back. So we're just gonna go to Faulkner, who can do quite a bit. In the meantime, Surge's gonna fake out to give myself that free switch. And that means, even with the 2 fake outs, even with the burn, I theoretically didn't need anything much more, but I need Faulkner in place for the final 2. Faulkner here has a very unique trait for this fight. It's faster than Arctazol's. So I can Flare Blitz it, and that Flare Blitz, like I showed just now, is guaranteed to KO. For the next one, Faulkner cannot do that KO, so it needs a bit of help. Silent is going to be that help. Surge can switch out freely, thanks to Faulkner outspeeding and KOing. Faulkner has a Charcoal equipped, and with that Charcoal equipped, it's guaranteed to one-shot the Arctazol's. Even if there was no fake out chip, which there was, there's a bit of recoil, and Silent takes a bit of experience as well. And now here comes the hill again, and with this hill, Silent is below 1/3 of its HP, 50. At 50, Overgrow is active for Silent, so Silent can deal quite a bit of damage. In fact, enough to guarantee a one-shot onto Arctifish. Even without an item, and we even equipped it with a Miracle Seed for overkill. Which theoretically means I can also use another move, but whatever. However, Silent is slower than Arctifish. How do we fix that? Well, we have Tailwind. And in this game, we have dynamic speed, akin to how it happens in Gen 8. That means that if we Tailwind, the speed tiers get updated, and that should mean that I can Energy Ball here for free, faster than the Arctifish. Right? Right. An Energy Ball is a guaranteed kill, and therefore this fight was perfectly riskless. Honestly, one of my favorite cooks. I like this cook. This was a very fun battle to solve. Let's heal everyone up. And this was the part where I do not have any prep anymore. I've got 2 hours, give or take, to try and find my way through the next fight. I forgot to update the trainer at the bottom. That's fine. Let's get the final one shown up here. Just focus. Ready to blow up once you actually beat this game. Oh, I'm not gonna do that. If I do somehow, I'd be impressed. If that were to happen, I don't even know how I would use that. If I would use that. We're gonna see that in due time. Let's wait for this final one to show up. That is not quite how that is formatted. Why is that formatted that way? Thought I moved that better. Or cut that off better. Let me fix that. Oh, I did. It's just slow. There we go. Okay, this is the final fight of Weather Institute. And it's Shelly. Shelly has a monstrous team. Between the Mienshao, which is very fast and very annoying, the Nihiligo, which is basically faster than my entire team, the Dragonite, which is very powerful and very scary, Tornadus, a legendary, Mega Blastoise with Shell Smash, which is banned from Smogon Natdex OU, and Lantern. Let's show up the calculator real quick and try to find our way through this, because I have no goddamn clue. I had like a few like vague ideas. Like for example here, the Mienshao lead is Hawlucha. Let me delete. I don't know what I deleted just now. I think I just deleted the trash, right? I think so. Trying to see if I miss anything. I don't think I do. Okay, cool. Highlight. Good luck with all that. I'm gonna go now. Have a good night, LG. See you around. Okay. Mienshao is annoying because it has a Focus Sash. And we don't have the tools to combat the Focus Sash. The closest we have is Talonflame, who could, in theory, live a fake out into close combat. No, it cannot. That's the issue. So I kind of need to do something there. And there's not really a way to fix that. The closest I could get is like Rocky Helmet or the not the Roa, but the other version of the berry, right? That's like one of the ways I could do it. The alternative I had was just Hawlucha, which would I had that it would KO with dual wing beat written down, but that's not true. It needs Sharp Beak to do that, and it barely even does that. I'm gonna double check if that's correct though. Yep, it needs it doesn't actually KO. So that's annoying. And I'm not sure why I had that written down then. I have Gyarados, but the inner focus now like blocks the Intimidate, so that's not gonna do much. I have Orbital, I guess, but knockoff hurts. Those two combine to do too much. The closest to an alternative I might have is Talon. And considering Talonflame is slower than everything on a team, it might work. The problem is that Nihiliga clicks a random move effectively. Because I will have taken the fake out and the... I could make it so I only take the fake out, right? Because I can acrobatics and just use that one berry, I guess. That still means I could see a Sludge Wave. But I believe the AI actually prioritizes Meteor Beam here, if I'm not mistaken. Where is my... There's my page. Let's see. If I look at the move AI for Meteor Beam, because I believe Meteor Beam has a specific AI. Power Herb. Really? Boosts. I thought Meteor Beam had like a guaranteed... Oh yeah, no, there it is. Meteor Beam. For some reason, it doesn't want to look for it. Okay, well, whatever. If AI is holding a power herb plus 9, else never used. They're treated as setup moves when used by Pokemon with con. Is the highest damaging move already? Its score is not affected by contrary in the moves. No. Okay. So... Yeah, no. So Power Gem is just plus 9, and else it's never used. So I think it actually doesn't click it? Maybe? And if that's the case, it doesn't see... Wait, why does it not see that I... Oh, because I can kill it with liquidation. Okay, I think this is the point in the stream where if you've got any ideas whatsoever, feel free to shout them out, because I'm just kind of looking my way through this and I'm not quite sure what to do. Mega Blastoise. The closest I have to an answer is Torterra, but Torterra needs to be in already to do that. That could happen if I am in against Lantern. And I would need a Soft Sand. But if I can come in on Volt Switch or Thunderbolt on Lantern, and Lantern is the second to last Mon, I could Chain Kill Woodhammer. No. Do I need is Muscle Band enough? No, I need specifically the Miracle Seed. So I could do that with a little bit of chip. Like a U-turn kind of chip, right? Which I guess I could facilitate with Raichu, but... I was gonna say maybe Raichu can help out a bit against Mien, but no. Because it's slower, and also Inner Focus, right? Maybe Torkoal can do something. So he can protect against the Fake Out, guarantee a CC, and then just kind of Heat Wave. But then what does Torkoal do, right? Torkoal cannot do anything else. I guess Sceptile could do the same thing. But he already guarantees a CC. Not technically, I guess. This is a change that happened. Okay. Okay, let's... From the ground up. For Dragonite, I basically need either him having... Guarantee an Outrage and Prim can take it, or guarantee a non-dual Wing Beat and Prim can take it. Or guarantee anything but Aqua Tail, I guess, and then Prim can kind of handle it. The problem is mostly, right, the multi-skill, which Avalok can actually handle, because even with that, Avalanche is a guaranteed kill, right? It's a guaranteed kill even through multi-skill. But I need to specifically come in on Aqua Tail then. And that is hard to do. I guess Costa coming in on like anything but Outrage. Again, anything but Outrage. And Outrage is such a likely click. Trying to think if like is there anything I could do against Mien? Because like I think the only way to beat Mien Shao looks to be like Roa Berry or the I'm just gonna look up what the name is because I want to make sure that I know it. Jaboka Talonflame. That looks like it's the only way to just reliably KO it. Jaboka Talon. And Jaboka Talon baits in Nihiligo, who clicks Power Gem, maybe Sludge Wave. I guess in theory I could Tailwind. But at that point, you're guaranteed to see random move. But that is fine if I Tailwind. That does give me some options, right? Because if I have something that can come in on Sludge Wave and Power Gem, and then outspeed under Tailwind, can I guarantee that I get off a Tailwind, though? I don't remember. If he's at 65, those two do too much together. It's a range, but like double crit would KO Talon. And I cannot have that happen. And I don't want to like risk its life if I can help it. I guess Crook in general just kind of works well into Nihiligo. Problem is that Stealth Rock gets set up, but beyond that, it should be fine. Second problem is that I cannot guarantee what like Dragonite comes in and I cannot guarantee what it does. And if he outrages, I am screwed. Kinda, yeah, probably. Berserker is the alternative, who can take the Sludge Wave and the Power Gem and just Iron Head it for the kill. And if I get crit Power Gemmed, he clicks anything but Dual Wing Beat. I had a mon for which that was fine. That was Prim, right? Yeah, the Aqua Tail is like barely not good enough. And not to mention, that won't solve it. Because Prim cannot really 1v1 well. It has to be Avalugg that comes in. Okay, let's shelve the Dragonite for now and look forward. Let's also shelve Nihiligo because there's like multiple ways to do it. And then if we can look for like the right way, maybe we can like condense some team composition, right? Torn, I believe I had like Arcanine Hisui written down for myself, like in my head. Because after the Flying Gem is gone, it just kind of handles it perfectly fine. Ampy was the alternative. And Mega Ampy. Because Ampy, like base Ampy baits Grass Knot or Heat Wave after Acrobatics is used up. And Mega Ampy can take those, like, take the Acro and the subsequent Heat Wave or Grass Knot and KO with Thunderbolt. And baits in probably Lantern or Dragonite if I have not KO'd Dragonite yet. The advantage there, though, barring like, let's see, if I get crit into crit, ooh, then I can see Dual Wing Beat, but most of the time I shouldn't. Right? So that is kind of good, because then I guarantee Outrage, which means Prim can actually handle it quite well. And I can then slow flip turn if he outrages, and he switches out into Lantern. And with that flip turn chip, I can bring in Torterra. The problem there is that means Torterra cannot chain kill, right? So, yeah. So, like, vaguely, I think these 5 are coming. And then this, vaguely, I think it's these 6. And then Crook is kind of malleable in if it is brought or if it's like any of the blue guys here, right? Not Delmise. Probably not Basque Legion, but honestly, no, not Basque. Basque cannot take double power gem. Nah, if it crits, even if it... No, if it crits, he cannot take it. So that's not an option. And unless I can get like that Tailwind play off, which I won't. Only if a burn happens, basically. If a burn happens, it can happen. And with the Jaboka, first turn he's gonna fake out, and then Jaboka breaks the sash. I don't like. It feels like a waste, right, to use Jaboka here. It's just incredibly early. It's probably fine-ish, but meh, I don't like it. It's also, but it's not really something I can avoid. Then here it's gonna Power Gem or Sludge Wave, depending on if I get crit or not. If it's a guaranteed Power Gem, like almost guaranteed Power Gem, does that make any differences? Yes, that just means Crook is even better of a choice. It has to be Crook. Okay. And Crook can just kind of... Then it's no longer the first turn. So its Stealth Rock is unlikely. Not incredibly unlikely, but unlikely. I wish I had the speed, right? I guess if the burn does happen, I can Tailwind and then go to Crook and therefore deny the Stealth Rock altogether. Yeah, that's probably fine. But then Tailwind peters out. D9 comes in and clicks random between Outrage and Aqua Tail. At that point, I could go to Prim. And if I see Aqua Tail, I can just double to Avalugg. And if I see Outrage, I flip turn. Yeah, that probably works. Yeah, that probably kind of... No, because dual Wing Beat can be clicked. So I have to go to Avalugg. I think it's the opposite then. If I go to Avalugg, have him just hold a Citrus just in case. And if I see Outrage, I can just switch to Prim. Okay, I think I have it. I think it might have like a general idea here. So Citrus, Ava, Mega Ampy, Prim, Tort, and Crook. Probably Pecha Crook? But if it's Pecha, we need to see that later. I don't like using a Jaboka, right? But I kind of have to. I just have to. I have to just accept that that's something I do. Oh, wait. If I get double Sludge Waved, it's truly random. Yeah, but no, because Avalugg can take one move. If it's Fire Punch, I switch to Prim. If it's Dual Wing Beat, I take it and just hope. Like, I should be able to Citrus that away in Avalanche anyway. These two are just kind of combined to take out Dragonite, basically. his resistances and his power. These two should be able to handle it all together. Then in comes Torn. Depending on who's in, right? No, regardless of what happens, Torn comes in. And most likely clicks Acrobatics or Heat Wave. Ampy coming in on a Heat Wave is not great. But if it's a guaranteed Heat Wave, and that means that Avila came in, and I can go to Prim on the Heat Wave, bait Acrobatics for Ampy, which is like slightly better, ever so slightly better. Then Mega and I KO, that baits in Lantern basically every single time, because at base... Oh no, Blastoise has more damage, so... Why is Lantern? Oh, because it out-damages me. So if I were to get... I'm gonna quickly go back, go forward. If I get Acrobatics into Heat Wave, most of the time that should bait in Lantern, but Lantern clicking Ice Beam, I can facilitate that. I can go to Prim for that, and then Flip Turn, and then because that baits an Electric move, and with that a little bit of chip, Earthquake kills, and I can just give a Miracle Seed to Torterra, and he can chain kill Blastoise. But there is a chance, there's a small chance that Ampy cannot take a crit Acrobatics. So I kind of want him to come in on Heat Wave, right? Because then Mega... Because he clicks a random move then between Acro and Heat Wave. So I do need... so that is an issue. If I get... Crit, High Roll Acroed. Flying Gem gone. He sees a kill with a random move, and Mega Ampy can die to Acro, or Knock Crit, or Heat Wave Crit, or Grass, not though. Okay. Okay. So that's not quite the option I would want it to be. Raichu Alola coming in on anything? No. I had Hamilton also as an option. Is that this? Does that the same thing? Yeah, kind of. Problem is, if I give it a Heartstone, I cannot. I bait a Rock move, but that's fine because I don't need it. I think so. Just Hamilton, maybe with a Citrus. So if he comes in on, yeah, on the Acrobatics and it does crit me, I'm in trouble. If it does crit me, if it crits me, I'm fine. But then he would knock off, and knock off is a chance to kill. So maybe I put myself, I was gonna say in Acro range, so I'm at, like, I take at worst 87. But I can probably finagle it such that I come in on Grass Knot or Acro. That's not enough. That's not enough. Yeah, I don't quite see this one at the moment. Because Hisuian Electrode, yeah, unless it comes in explicitly Grass Knot, which it won't, there's not much it can do there, right? I guess it's kind of an option, but that means I need to either drop Prim or drop Avalugg. And I need both of those to take on the Dragonite, as well as the Lantern, like the baiting with Lantern. The other problem... No, there's no problem there. Okay. I guess that... No, because Crooked's a random move, so I cannot really just throw in Hisuian Avalugg, but nor Primarina, because Dual Wing Beat would just deal way too much. Because I was considering, like, oh, maybe I can bring in Hisuian Arcanine, but he cannot take the Dual Wing Beat well enough. And I also need him for Tornadus. And the Mon I would drop then is... It's not like he does enough anyway, right? Rock Slide into Extreme Speed, even if he's at like 209 because of like a Volt Switch, theoretically. Rock Slide into Extreme Speed would not kill, so that's not an option. And Hisuian Arcanine is also not an option into Nihilego, so like I really only would bring him for Torn. Hi Farope, long time no see. I am busy preparing for Shelly for the final fight of the Weather Institute. And it is a doozy. I think I have like a general plan and a general team, but I cannot tell if it's good enough, you know? We're doing alright. I just now noticed that I have something that's a bit outdated, because... Wait, where'd it go? There we go. Because I had a death just now. My Viola died, unfortunately. So we no longer have a Masquerain. Now, Masquerain was great, but it was a Mon that I could generally kind of replace. So it's not the biggest deal in the world. The main problem right now that I'm looking at is the Mienshao. Honestly, I guess probably Masquerain could have helped there, but it was a risk that I could not avoid. And beyond that, we're doing all right. Like, this fight is just hard, but it looks solvable. Like, it looks like I can generally finagle this without too much risk. I want to double check that. Okay, that is the case. Okay, good. Good. He's also... Oh, Blastoise is fine. That means if he's lowered a bit, oh, it needs to be lowered a lot. Never mind. Okay. I'm looking ahead at shit, but Yeah, no, in general, this fight looks solvable, but it, like, hard to find the exact line for. I think this is a general team that works, but I need to find, like, if I'm not missing anything. General idea for me right now is Mian Xiao 1v1's Talonflame, and thanks to a Jaboka Berry, which, if you get hit by a physical move, deals 1/8 or 1/16 of the HP. Exact amount doesn't matter, it breaks the sash, acrobatic skills. That's a general plan here. I could risk the Flame Body proc, but I kind of don't want to for obvious reasons. Then in comes Nihiligo, clicks Power Gem, maybe Sludge Wave, depending on how it exactly goes. Crook can take that. Crook Okos in return with Earthquake or High Horsepower. I might have Stealth Rock set up. That would be annoying, but altogether something I can probably manage. Is that true? No, that's not true at all. If that happens, I'm kind of screwed. It's a guaranteed power gem, maybe Tort into Berserker? No, because that means nothing. That doesn't do anything. Like, in this specific team, Krook, for example, is replaceable. Its goal is to beat the Nihiligo, and I have got a fair few mons that also do that. Delmice, not quite. Lycanroc, not quite. Caracosta, no, but Masculegion, for example, could do it, and most notably, Berserker is a fine alternative. That will bait in, most likely, the Dragonite. And depending on the mon I have in, it baits different moves. I think Berserker might be the better option for the very simple reason that he baits better moves for me. Depending on what happens. If I get, like, double power gemmed, it's random move, and I cannot really do anything about that. But if I get, like, only hit once, I'm basically guaranteed to see Fire Punch, maybe Outrage, and that means I have a good switch in with Prim. As a matter of fact, I think I can kind of finagle that in general. If I give him a Citrus, maybe. Then Power Gem. Not really, but I think, like, in most scenarios, I'd be at, like, say 65%-ish. And then I see Fire Punch guaranteed, and, like, even if it goes as low as 55, it's Aqua Tail, Outrage, or Fire Punch, which means Prim can come in perfectly fine and work and help that way, right? And 1v1 quite decently, kind of. If nothing else, I can flip turn to Avalugg on a second Fire Punch and KO it that way. Maybe something else can do that. Not if there's an Outrage involved. Though if there is an Outrage involved, there's maybe other ways to do that. Because then, if I do get hit by Outrage, then Prim can just blanks it. Yeah. I think it's D6, and we're just gonna... No, not this one. Yeah, no, it is that one. Dragonite is the one that needs the most attention. And the way it looks, it should probably be fine. But I need to look at specifics to see if it works. If Dragonite locks into Fire Punch, I am fine, because Arcanine Hisui can just kind of take over from there. I don't want it to, though, actually. But no, even then, Avalugg can take over. Because Flip Turn breaks the Sash, and I can go to Avalugg. And if it is truly random move, I can always go to Avalugg. But most of the time, that shouldn't be the case. I hope there's no rock setup. That's also an issue. Which is maybe a reason to bring Dhelmise instead, but Dhelmise cannot really 1v1 Nihilego well enough. Is it able to do, like, is there any place where I could maybe use it instead? No. And rocks are going to be set up regardless, so I don't think I see a good way around that. Like, a good way to combat that. Because that means that Avalugg can die to an Outrage. Yeah, This fight is rough for the very simple reason that I have no way to break the Nihilego. To break the Nihilego without having a chance of him setting up Stealth Rock. The only way that could theoretically work out is if Talonflame leads and is able to set up a Tailwind. Like, it can Tailwind, Acrobatics, switch, and then the switch can KO. That's the only way that it can happen. But unfortunately, Talonflame is dead to close combat, fake out, combined crits. And there's no way for me to avoid that. I will say that it needs, like, to average roll crits, specifically on CC. It just needs, like, a mid-roll crit. Mid to high roll-ish. And it needs to not burn with a fake out. Trying to think if there's any other way to do that. If there's like a way to maybe force him to CC turn 1. I mean, yes, there is, but what does that help, right? Because it's not like Basket Legion or something can resolve, like, can take the KO. And he would just get hit by knockoff. Not to mention, the whole reason I wanted to do that was to get the Tailwind up, and that is not what can happen here. So the only thing I could see is like, yeah, I do use Crook and hope I can get the burn, and if I do get the burn, I can get the Tailwind, guaranteeing myself to not see a Stealth Rock. There's not much else I can do, I think. Maybe with some TMs, but is there a dual Wing Beat TM? Not that it matters, but there is, right? I believe there is. Or is it a tutor? No, it's a TM. There is a dual Wing Beat TM. So I could, in theory, dual Wing Beat. Oh, that is not enough, huh? With a Sharp Beak. Only with some sort of recoil. And Talonflame is not really poised to abuse that too well. Hawlucha is slightly better poised to take 2 moves, but Hawlucha is too slow. Even if I were to, like, scale its speed. If I scale its speed, it's barely faster. But I still wouldn't one-shot it, do a wing beat. I'd need to scale attack as well. Or I need to only scale attack. Which I don't really want to do. Right? Still a range, exactly. So it's Talonflame, like, is basically the only one that can kind of do this. Yeah, the IVs on Hawlucha suck. This was a 2, I believe. These IVs are trash, like genuinely horrible. They're like bad in the exact way Hawlucha should not be bad. And Hawlucha is not really something I want to invest a skill into, right? That's not really going to do anything. I could maybe see like an orbital line, kind of, maybe, sort of, with like reflect, but then what? That doesn't really help much either. Slowbro's not it, Turton's not it. I guess Delmai's kind of not really either though, because I need to go itemless and I cannot two-shot it in time. So yeah, long story short, it's just Talonflame. It's just Talonflame that has to do it with the Jaboka. That's the only way I see this work. And I guess if I don't get crit with Fake Out, I can still pull out the Tailwind and thus guarantee that I don't see it. But it's harsh. It's hard to guarantee. It's baffling how fast this game gets tricky. I mean, yes, but at this point in the game, we're not in the fast territory anymore. I don't even know how many hours I've sunk into this run alone, let alone the game in its entirety. Actually, I can probably look that up, but I don't want to do that right now. Not to mention, like, in practice, there's like the measurement stick, the measurement tool I would have would be my like stream lengths, and in practice those aren't fully reflective of how much time I've taken into the game. For one, there's things I do off stream, and for two, there's moments on stream that I just, yeah, simply due to self-preservation, don't look it up. Fair point. Yeah, no, let's don't. Okay, so if I do have Tailwind set up, if I do manage to get Tailwind set up, right, then in theory, I was gonna say Torts can 1v1, can handle the 1v1s even then. I kind of butt off the game for now, currently running the Drayana games for my sanity. Those are so much lower level in terms of difficulty. And not to say those are easy. They're definitely not easy, but they're not run and bun. If I can get the Tailwind off, I guess like the likeliness of me getting off Tailwind is high, right? Because it requires me to not get high roll crit in that scenario. If I get high roll crit and there's no burn, Because if I need to specifically be at 133. So that means I need to take at worst, is that 49 damage? So basically just don't get crit. If I don't get crit, I can set up Tailwind. So it's a 1 in 16 that I can do that. I think that means it's worth it to use Crook. Because 2, 3, 4. Crook is faster than Nihiligo under Tailwind. And is one of the mons that I can use pretty decently to take out the Nihiligo. As opposed to Basque Legion, who I cannot really use safely. Or Berserker, who's too slow. Lycanroc is kind of there too, but no. And Torch can kind of do it because he comes in on... No, he would come in on random move between Sludge Wave and Power Gem. And if it's Sludge Wave, I am absolutely in trouble because he needs to both do Lantern and Blastoise. So no, it's not Torch. It has to be Crook. So Crook comes in, takes out the Nihiligo with Earthquake, either slow kill or fast kill, it doesn't quite matter. And I would bait a random move between Dual Wing Beat, Outrage, and Aqua Tail. And there's no way for me to avoid that. That's the opposite side of it, right? I guess if it's Dual Wing Beat, I can bring in Avalago into Citrus. I can probably live 2 Dual Wing Beats. If it's Aqua Tail, I live also. And if it's Outrage, I can double switch to Prim. And then flip turn. And be fine. Yeah, that does kind of work. That will bait in Torn. Torn clicking random move between Heat Wave and Grass Knot. Which I guess I could go to Talon to bait Acro. At that point, kind of. But then what? Go to Arc the turn after on the Acro? No. Sack Avalug? Maybe? Don't really want to do that either. Set up Tailwind and sack Talon? No. I guess getting Hamilton in safely is like kind of needed. Is it? So if I can get him in on specifically Heat Wave, we're good. Alternatively, I just don't get crit, right? If I don't get crit there, I'm also fine, because then Rock Slide to Extreme Speed also kills. And then we've gotten rid of these 4, and it's just the 2 water types. That means he's going to come in, probably click Scald, maybe one of the electric moves. But Prim should be in pristine shape. Crit is 1 in 16, yes. Actually, one sec. Let me double check that. Because I might as well double check. I believe it's 1 in 16, but it might be 1 in 12. Mechanic changes. 1 in 16. I kind of figured, but good to double check, right? It's 1 in 16. So what am I risking? What risks am I taking? Here, I'm trying to avoid a crit for safety purposes. And if Stealth Rock is set up, I'm kind of screwed. Kind of. because one hit of dual wing beat can deal over a quarter. I also don't want to scale an Avalug, right? But if it guarantees some safety, no. No, let's not. That's really a waste. If he dual wing beats, I can always maybe like try Talon. Use Crook to get an Intimidate off. Something like that. If he doesn't crit even, if I get crit on the first turn with Fake Out, I would get into unsafe situations. But not guaranteed yet. Then I would need to get explicitly Stealth Rocked on the turn Crocodile KOs Nihilego. That's a 1 in 3-ish. Maybe even less. I don't remember. I believe... I'm gonna quickly take a glance at the other calculator. I believe I can just kind of look at that. Crook, 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 crook. It's once it's no longer the first turn, you shouldn't click Meteor Beam. Wait, is Meteor Beam considered a boosting move? I can't sell off of the AI document. If I look at the AI document, look for Meteor Beam, I believe it's not a boosting move. I believe it's not considered a boosting move, but I'm gonna look that up real quick. Because I wager I'm not the first to ask. What's the move again? Meteor Beam. Because if it's a guaranteed Meteor Beam, that probably changes things a bit. I love a database for when people have sacked mons. Turn 1 and boost special attack. I mean, yes. But, let's see if it give me, Meteor Beam is the only one that cares. Meteor Beam, I mean, I know it, like, it boosts special attack, but I could also just see it have, like, separate AI and not be considered a boosting move, you know? I know it boosts special attack, but it may not be considered a boosting move within the AI. Here it is. Someone asked it. Nope, it's not considered a boosting move. And that actually is in line with what I read. Because the whole boosting move section, I feel like that ends at the note for Pokemon with Contrary. And after that note, we see Meteor Beam. So I think Meteor Beam is just a flat +9 and is not considered a boosting move. And if that's the case, it may click it. Then, is it ever considered the highest damaging move? Because then I believe it's always clicked, right? Meteor Beam if AI is holding power +9. Isn't a regular damaging move. And it's not considered a regular damaging move. Okay. So it's just a flat +9. These moves are a few specific damage moves that do not have their damage rolled normally, and are thus never considered the highest damaging move. Explosion, Final Gambit, Relic Song, Rollout, Meteor Beam, Trapping Moves, and Future Sight. All those moves still check if they kill a target mon. If so, the above boosts still apply for highest kill. They will just never get the +6, so in fact, against Nihiligo, I'm guaranteed to see Meteor Beam. And then we are in much more trouble. Hoo boy, if that's the case, that is a lot scarier. And I kind of just need that Tailwind to go off. Could Krook in theory KO? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter because... Okay, so it's guaranteed to Meteor Beam. And if it is... Krook cannot take the follow-up move. Not guaranteed. Because it would die to a crit, or if Meteor Beam crit. That is scary. And I guess Berserker is more likely to handle it. Not really. I guess Tort can bait Sludge Wave, which Berserker can take. The problem is I need Torterra in pristine shape. And if he high rolls Meteor Beam, then Mega Blastoise has a range to kill me on Tort. So that's not an option. But Berserker taking the Meteor Beam is also not really an option. And nor is Prim taking the Meteor Beam, which is like my best special soak, I guess. It's either her or Krook. But Krook, yeah, no, I think I just need to risk that with Krook. And just hope I have Tailwind up. And if nothing else, I could also choose to sack Talon. If I get unlucky with like a fake out crit and no burn, I can also just set up Tailwind, sack Talonflame so that the line continues. Because then I can go into Krook. And with Tailwind up, everything is slower anyway. I KO Nihiligo, Dragonite comes in, he clicks Outrage or Aqua Tail, and then at that point it is safe to go to Prim. Flip turn on whichever move it is. If it's Aqua Tail, fine, then I can go to Avalux. If it's because a slow pivot means Aqua Tail, is whatever. Yeah, and then, because... Oh, with Tailwind, Primarina is faster. So then I would Moonblast for a turn. And then flip turn, I guess. Maybe. Maybe, kind of. No. But now with Citrus, that should be fine-ish. Because I can never die to 2 crit Aqua Tails. Also, if it's Aqua Tail, can just kind of hard switch to Avalok instead. Or flip turn switch that way, and then that's fine too, that works the same way. Then Torn comes in. We'll click one of its special moves, maybe acrobatics, but probably not. I could go to Hisuian Arcanine. Yeah, I think it's these 6. I don't think there's any pre-damaging I can do. Because I need everyone in pristine shape. Everyone is just kind of... I click damage move, so there's not really much I can do. And at worst, I will just sack Talon, which is a very hard sack to make, but it's kind of the only one I see that can work. Sack him for Tailwind and hopefully use that to my advantage. Yeah, I think that's the way we're gonna try it. I'm gonna quickly write that down. This is Citrus Crook, I guess, as well. I don't want to waste these too much. So lead Talon. Take Fake Out. Take Fake Out. Tailwind if no crit. Tailwind if no crit, else no crit or a burn. Else acro for kill. In comes Nihiligo. Nihiligo would also boost speed, right? And a +1. That doesn't matter because Tailwind still outspeeds it, so it's fine. Good to check, right? Good to check. So in comes Nihiligo. Clicks. That's my wife calling me. 1 second. And we're back. Okay, let's continue writing this down and hope that everything just doesn't go awry. Clicks Meteor Beam. Pivot, Crook. If Tailwind, sack if not. Tailwind and sack if not. Crook takes kill with ground move. In comes D-Knight. If full HP, clicks. Because if Nihiligo had to... If Nihiligo Meteor Beam Crook, it's random move. And if he didn't, if full HP clicks Outrage Aqua Tail. Else random move. If it's a random move, pivot, Ava, then Prim if Outrage. Else pivot Prim. And then flipped, like, Ava KOs with Avalanche. Prim flip turns to Ava. Ava KOs. Because it's a slow pivot, so Prim takes a damage. And it's not dual wing beat at that point, so it's fine. In comes... Regardless of who I have in comes Torn. Clicks. Here is kind of where it diverges too much, right? Pivot Hark if possible. Or find line to pivot Hark. Hark, slide plus E-speed KOs, risks double crit, right? It risks, it doesn't even risk double crit, it risks crit into not, because I would give it a citrus. It basically risks crit into, this is 30, so 54. It risks max roll crit into max roll crit, or just high roll into max roll crit, or high roll crit. Right? And that's assuming the flying gem. That's assuming it clicks knockoff, right? Because if he clicks acrobatics, it won't do that. If he clicks grass knot, there's a very small chance. So it's extremely specific. It's run ending, probably, but it's extremely specific. So we're just gonna hope that doesn't happen. Lantern will come in because both of those will be slower and see a kill with a water move. Most likely just the water move. There's a small chance that Hark is at low HP and it can click an electric move. If that's the case, let's just hope Prim wasn't that low HP. Probably wasn't, but we will see. Side note, if assuming Arcanine comes in on specifically the Heat Wave, then we're completely fine, right? So all in all, that's kind of the lines I see, and then make sure that I flip turn Prim into Torterra, who takes the guaranteed electric move, hopefully. And then Earthquake for kill, in comes Blastoise, and through the Mega, KOs with Wood Hammer. And even after the Dragon Pulse damage, will not be KO'd by the recoil. Yeah, that looks like that should do the trick. Prim is faster, and flip turn deals enough to make Earthquake kill. Yup, it does. Yeah, I think this kind of works. So Hark risks double crit. Pivot Prim into Lantern Scald. Flip turn to Tort on Elec move. EQ for kill. Chain kill. Wood Hammer. Chain kill. Blastoise with Wood Hammer. There's like 3 or 4 risks here, and I think I don't see how I can avoid them. But I think this is about the lowest risk I can take. Unless anyone sees like a better way to fight any of these. I honestly don't. I need to deny the Stealth Rock, because the Stealth Rock would just screw me over very hard. I need to not get like crit after crit after crit after crit. Specifically high roll crits. Like, as long as I don't get crit in the first turn, I have a chance to do his damageless. So long as I don't get like, very specific combination of crits and non-crits on Hark, I should be fine. So long as Hark isn't, like, extremely low because of specifically, like, knockoff, like, acrobatics barely not triggering the citrus into knockoff, putting me extremely low, causing me to be in Thunderbolt and Volt Switch range, I should be fine. And even then, I could maybe do, like, an Avalok pivot, or, like, maybe then, like, a Talonflame sack still, so Prim can come in safely. But in practice, I wager Prim should be healthy enough to where Lantern can probably not KO with a Thunderbolt crit. Hopefully, and then even through a Citrus that should not trigger Skull, it should always be Volt Switch or Thunderbolt, and then I can just kind of manage just fine. The only issue is maybe he Volt Switches on Hark, but if that's the case, yeah, there's not much I can do about that. This is about the best line I can think of, and I think we're just gonna give it a whirl. Let's give it, okay, let's try. I'm gonna give a Jaboka to, this is not the team yet. Let's get the proper team. Let's quickly get rid of your item. You can get the Jaboka, because you're already in here. Let's get rid of your item. Let's get rid of your item. You had the Citrus, right? So that can stay. And let's try. That's all we can do, right? And if we truck here, then it's been a good run. It's been a fun game, and I'll probably not pick it up anymore. Yeah, no, I think at that point, any future runs I'm just gonna do off stream, like just for myself. This is like my main try, and I want to make sure that I just kind of do it justice, of course, but yeah. Okay, I think look, I like streaming, I don't mind streaming. What I mostly don't like about it is the fact that I'm just kind of stuck only, like, I have to stream my fights, you know? And that always just feels like a bit of a big step or something. Or like, I need to make free time, whereas otherwise I could just kind of run a game on my phone or run a game on my laptop with just like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna try this one now. It's such a big difference, you know? So yeah, in practice, that's probably how it's gonna go. I hope not. I genuinely hope I can just continue, because I do like it. I do enjoy this. It's just, yeah, like I said, this has to be so much bigger comparatively compared to just doing it casually, that it's kind of hard to make work. Okay. Let's hope I can do this. Double check. I have the right lead. Yes. Everyone is here. I don't need any pre-statusing or whatnot. There's not much in terms of status that can happen. There's one that could happen that could be troublesome, but it's something I cannot avoid. Yeah. I'm gonna send the trouble that comes with it. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we make it through this one deathless, with one death, or with a wipe. Because I think that's like the two options. The three options. I want to triple check that I gave this a Jaboka. It's the main one that I'm just... Citrus, Miracle, Citrus. Okay. Here we go. whatever the hell that laugh is. You're going to meddle in Team Aqua's affairs. You're either absolutely fearless, simply ignorant, or both. Both. Both is good. You're so cute, you're disgusting. I'll put you down, kitty. 28. Not a kid anymore. Anyway. Alright, let's see. Shelly leads here with the Mienshao. We're going to lead with Talonflame, our beloved Faulkner. Faulkner here is one of the few mons that can actually one-shot Mienshao and also be faster than it. Therefore, we're going to click Acrobatics, but we're going to get hit by Fake Out first. If this one crits us, which it didn't, and it burnt, both of those are incredible, then we're good. One of the other issues, Mienshao has a Focus Sash, which was why we had the Jaboka Berry. We needed to make sure that Mienshao's sash was broken. That is a hard sentence. Damn. So that's why we did it this way. Now we actually have some wiggle room. So we are going to click Tailwind here. This Tailwind allows the next 1v1 to go in our favor as opposed to the opponent's favor. Tailwind is up for 4 turns, which means it's this turn, the next turn where we KO, the third turn where we switch, and the fourth turn is where we KO the next mon. So that gives us a lot of wiggle room. Acrobatics now kills. We no longer have an item, we used up our Jaboka Berry, and Mienshao goes down with ease. Up next, Shelly has a Nihiligo, a very annoying Ultra Beast, who on this first turn is seeing a kill and is gonna click Meteor Beam, and specifically Meteor Beam. It sees a kill with every single move, but Meteor Beam is prioritized because it has a, I need to make sure that I say the right item, a Power Herb attack as an item, which causes Meteor Beam to be prioritized. Clay can take that Meteor Beam. Even at +1, even as a crit, it will never be KO'd. The Intimidate here is whatever. And here's the Meteor Beam. Nihiligo charges up power, overflowing with space energy. Okay, goes up to +1. And the Meteor Beam here deals at minimum 99 HP and at worst 176. That is probably the best outcome. I think I wasted this citrus, but we're gonna see. Well, no, it's actually probably a good thing. And now we are faster, and Earthquake KOs. 2 down, 4 to go. Super effective, very good. Up next, we will see the Dragonite. Tailwind is over, we are slower again. Dragonite here is gonna click one of 3 moves. Dual Wing Beat, Aqua Tail, Outrage. Wolfric can take all 3, okay. And as long as it's not Outrage, we're good. If it is Outrage, Lana is our backup. We're gonna switch to Wolfric, and hopefully it's just Aqua Tail, because that just makes this easy. 1 in 3. 1 in 3, baby! And now Avalanche is a KO. Even through multi-skill, it's 120 base power. Wolfric has a very high attack stat of 193. So Avalanche here is a guaranteed KO. Bye-bye. Yes. Okay, we're good. These are the main 2 risks avoided. And the best thing about this should bait in Tornadus. And in fact, it should bait in Tornadus clicking a random move between Grass Knot and Heat Wave. It will never click its Acrobatics, because that doesn't see a kill. The other 2 do. We can go to Hamilton on either of those moves. And so long as this one doesn't crit and it's not too high of a roll, that I believe is enough. That I believe means we're fine. Not quite yet. Because he could crit and KO me here. But that is a range. He's guaranteed to acrobatics, though. And there is an alternative I could try here. And that involves Wulfric switching in again. I think I'm okay with that. Because I do need Hamilton decently healthy to take another hit. And acrobatics is arranged to kill. How much does Lana take from Grass Knot? Oh, acrobatics is arranged to crit. Range on crit. So there's two ways to go about this. I risk a crit with on Hamilton, and it has to be a mid-roll to high-roll crit. That's one. The other is I switch to Wulfric, I bait Heatwave or Grass Knot again, and I switch to Faulkner, who will once again bait acrobatics, but the unboosted acrobatics instead. I say that is a true. It might bait knockoff after. Which might be fine, but Also, what will I do with Talonflame having switched in? Set up Tailwind? I don't want to sack Faulkner. And if I do need to do that, can I? But what would I need to do then? Let's see. Didn't we have a line? We did have a line, but it was I missed the fact that acrobatics is still boosted, and the boosted acrobatics, a crit mid-roll will kill me, and I guess that's a risk I kind of have to take now. But there is an alternate in that I switch to Wulfric here, take that acrobatics. I think I kind of misplayed. I think what I needed to do was switch to Lana, switch back to Wulfric, in hindsight. But... or switch to Faulkner, switch to Wulfric, maybe even. Yeah, no, I that was probably the better way to do it. If Tailwind is up, I can probably finagle this with Torterra. Kind of. Yeah, okay, if Tailwind is up, I can kind of finagle this with Torterra. So, I'm gonna risk Hamilton here, which is a big risk. But that's probably the safest line for me. Because I need to specifically dodge a crit mid-roll of... Let's see, what was it again? With a Flying Gem equipped. Because a crit deals between 130 and 153 damage. There are 4 rolls of a crit acrobatics that KO Hamilton. And I think that's basically what I have to do here, what I have to risk here. I'm gonna risk that. Okay, acrobatics. No crits! Okay, we're good. The rest of this fight is now guaranteed. We are safe. Rock Slide, that just flat out KOs. It was a range, but it had extreme speed, so the range was not relevant anyway. Hamilton gained a boosted XP. Here comes Lantern. Lantern will see a kill here with Scald and only Scald, so we can safely switch in Lana. Okay. Scald here deals pitiful damage. It could burn me, doesn't matter. From this point here, Lantern is guaranteed to click Thunderbolts, which will hurt, but we are faster, thankfully. Even at our base speed, we are faster than the Lantern. We can flip turn, safely get out. And now we need to get in someone who can take the electric move. Ramos, being ground type, can take an electric move. And this way, he's at full HP to take out the Lantern. I needed the tiny bit of chip here. Earthquake was at minimum dealing 95%. So with the flip turn chip, Earthquake is now a guaranteed kill. Which leaves us with just one Mon. The Shell Smashing Blastoise. This fight was constructed by me specifically to have the Blastoise come out last after Ramos took a kill on the Lantern. This way, I have, with the equipped Miracle Seed, or with the held Miracle Seed, a Wood Hammer that guarantees a kill on Blastoise. In return, Blastoise is going to click Dragon Pulse or Surf here, neither of which will KO me. It should actually just be Surf. That's guaranteed to not KO me, and even with the Wood Hammer recoil, which is about 30% of my HP, I'm guaranteed to live. 32 HP, and that is another deathless fight. Going one death through Weather Institute, and honestly one of the most missable mons, feels incredible. It's bad enough to have Team Aqua Blunder out, but now there's you. What makes you want to sniff around in their business anyway? We have a situation here. Team Magma Mob just passed the Weather Institute. They appear to be headed for Mount Pyre. What? We can't waste any more time here. We have to hurry to Mount Pyre too. Team Magma, just you wait. And now the reward for our efforts. One of the most important mons to be getting. Cast Form. Wait. Cast Form? Yes, Cast Form. Cast Form is holding a Life Orb. One of the best items in the game. Now we just need to find a name for you. And the theme was gym leaders. So we need a female, normal type, or type dependent, or weather dependent gym leader, or something along those lines. I can't think of any normal type specialist aside from Whitney, who just, you know, doesn't fit Cast Form at all. So I'm gonna look. Oh right, we have Lenora. Yeah, let's do Lenora. I don't think I have a Lenora yet, right? Trying to think. Yeah, first one in black, 2 white. Oh, Charon! Yeah, but Charon is a male. I'm trying to keep the genders the same. Though I guess calling you Cher would be fun. Yeah, I like that more. Let's call you Cher. As like a derivation of Sharon. Or maybe Cheryl. No, but then you have... Cheryl is an actual character. Who does use a Chansey, though. Maybe just call you Cherry? Which is kind of a funny double entendre. Yeah, Cherry. I like Cherry. Box 1. We got ourselves some cherries. What? FB I don't know what he said at the end. Oh, probably about the held item. And if we go back now... I was wondering when we can actually... of who the person is that gives me the... Really strong. I wish I could be a Pokemon trainer like you. Alright. That worked well! I know, right? You were the one who drove Team Aqua away, so I can teach your Pokemon some of the strongest, albeit slightly inaccurate moves. Blizzard, Fire Blast, Hydro Pump, and Thunder. Very good. I can probably use those Not right now. What we are going to look at right now is our cast form. Honestly, the stats don't even matter. It's the Life Orb. Bold Nature. IV-wise... What's the button I use again? I don't remember what I put on R. Where I put R on. There we go. It's 3 guaranteed 31s, I wager. So, in all things considered, quite alright. For a cast form, it's not, like, again, this is Compost. This is not a good mon. So, still nice to have. It's not going to be that important. The Life Orb is, though. The Life Orb is so good. Let's take that off real quick. Granite, blardy blar, and then we go all the way to... Oh yeah, so have Marvel. Fail, the Turnip Trico, and then here, Route 134. I didn't do that one. Cast form. There we go. And that also gives me access to the health item. That is the Life Orb. There we go. That is that done for me. Encounters. That's my encounters tab. Okay. Honestly, happy with that. I did not expect, first off, to get this far today. Second off, to basically go through that fight deathless. But that does lead me to, where's the next fight? I'm gonna save real quick because I don't want to trigger it too fast, you know? Saving, there we go. It's at the end of the bridge, right? You have to have the link to the calc. I believe calc. This is the one I commonly use, but it's one of the 2 I commonly use. I don't remember what else I set up for Nightbot. I think it was other calc that I did. Commands, maybe? There we go. And I can actually look at my commands, see if I actually set that up. Oh, I do need to update this a bit. But yeah, this is the main calculator I use. Still, it's not much different from the one I used to use. I do tend to actually use, where is he? I tend to use this one more often. I like this one more at the moment, just because it allows for some functionality the other one doesn't. The other one is a bit more classical in how it is used, but I know, I prefer this one. Up next, we have the rival battle against May. I believe it's at the end of the bridge, but I'm gonna real quick see if I can find that. Because if I can find out, like, oh no, it's actually a little bit later, then maybe I can sneak some items at the bottom, you know? Get some sneaky items at the bottom. I would need to look up. Let's look at Smance, Run and Bun. This is Aqua Hideout. Magma Hideout. No. Here. Let's see. Okay, I got my answer. Yeah, it's safe to go here and grab this item. Another heart skill. And there should be an item over here. Another heart skill. quickly look if there's any other items. Oh, here. I now have access to you as well. Let's see. Stop at Gastrodon. I heard you the first time. These two, no, that's that. And then maybe Route 119. Look for anything else here. I did those. Trying to see if I can get anything else. Oh, that flying gem, right? Probably. That we talked about earlier. I think I saw in a video that's here. Perfect. There it is. Maybe there's something else around here that I could grab. Yup. Weather ball. Pretty decent. At least over here it would be. Give some coverage to some people that otherwise don't have it. Let's see what else there is on Route 119. Yeah. I got that thing. Those I have. Those I have. That one I have. That one. That one. Oh, the Fly HM is gonna come in a little bit. Yeah, the Weather Ball TM. There's a Swampert, but that's not gonna come online for another while. There's another Heart Skill here, but that's past a waterfall. And that's everything. Okay, good. Then that's everything on that front. Then we can start preparing, I guess. I don't think there's much more to prepare. Like, not much more to prepare. There's definitely a lot to prepare. I think the main thing is I doubt I'll be able to prepare completely and finish this fight today. But we're gonna give it a shot. Because this next fight, I'm gonna quickly go to my trainer lookup. This is done. This one no longer needs to be focused. This one is beaten. Is this. It's gonna take a while to come online, probably, because it's slow as shit, but it's a double battle against May in permanent rain and electric terrain. Now, electric terrain is actually very interesting, because we have an abuser of electric terrain in our Raichu Alola. This was one of the main reasons why I picked Raichu Alola for the upcoming, like, for basically this stretch. For the few electric terrain fights, also having the Psychic type was useful. And a little bit extra special attack. So that's where we are right now. And one of the mons that's definitely going to be brought is Raichu Alola. Like, no question asked. I'm also going to quickly run a new export, just to get that online. And I will update my team real quick. So my current team is completely up to date. That's only, like, the more up to date it is, the better, right? And Turtonator, then Pyroar, Orbeetle, Ampharos, Mamoswine, Camerupt, Delmice, Altaria, Berserker, Slazzle, Basculegion, Hamilton, Torterra, Crocodile, Avalugg, Primarina, Talonflame. There we go. The team is up to date. And I need to use it myself as well, of course, for the import. Stop doing that, seriously. What? What? Yup, we have another chicken in our hands. Why is this one not acceptable? What happened? Oh, here. No, what is wrong with this one? Oh, there's another over here. Okay, something's awry. Here. Here. $132. Oh wait, there's another over there that I forgot. Trying to see. Yeah, the chicken one is evil here. For sure. I'm not looking forward to it whatsoever. I'm trying to update my team, but there's something that went wrong. Oh yeah, Dark Aura needs to be replaced with Illusion, of course, because the calculator doesn't want to do that. Maybe the fact that there's a few enters at the end. Okay, there we go. Oh, right. I can level everyone up. I forgot about that. I can bring everyone to 66. In the same vein, what moves does Cast From get? I'm legitimately considering just bringing it here. Because, like, it actually has the coverage to make it to be useful. Cast Form. It says it has 100% Mystic Water. That's incorrect. It gets Hydro Pump, Blizzard, Fire Blast, Hurricane, Thunder, Weather Ball. Yeah, so Hurricane and Thunder mostly. I just do Hurricane, Thunder, Hydro Pump as my moveset of choice. And I will also bring you guys over to my calcing page. Right, I need to get a new plan tab, because Weather Institute is done. Route 119, Part 2. And this is Bridge Rival. Here we go. Bridge Rival. There we go. Against Bridge Rival, we can definitely bring Basculegion. Basculegion is incredible because it is Swift Swim. We can definitely bring Raichu Alola, because Raichu Alola is Search Surfer. I think my lead consists of these two, just in and of itself. Because that's the only combination of mons I see that just kind of takes them out well. Against Salamence. It's a special attacking Salamence, which Primarina doesn't quite handle because of the Flying Gem Hurricane. Ampharos kinda does, but not really. There's also Heliolisk, which is probably what's gonna switch in, but if I were to go against the Raichu, it would be Heliolisk as well. Huh. I guess that makes sense, sort of. It does mean I see Thunder come in. And I could switch in Torterra. Or maybe Turtonator. Because it would be taking Energy Ball and Thunder. I was gonna say, what about Torkoal, but that doesn't quite work. Actually, Sceptile might work, right? Sceptile might work because it takes the Thunder and the Energy Ball. It doesn't quite. Not quite. It has to be Tort. So these three are kind of the base, I guess, the start. Earthquake does decently well against it. It does mean Ludicolo kind of can hurt it a lot. And I don't really have the Fake Out Sport. So the alternative would be to bring in Caracosta. But after an Energy Ball, Ludicolo will see a fast kill on both of those, on both Mons then. So the alternative is Raichu takes the KO. Could he do that with a Magnet? He could with a Magnet. Could he do it with Life Orb? I mean, yeah, but might as well use the Magnet there. Fake Out into Volt Tackle is a range. Okay, Muscle Band, maybe? Nope. It has to be a Life Orb then. Which, not great. Not great whatsoever. Because I'd have to take the Recoil. Which already puts me down like 60-ish%, so I'd be at like 42. No, not 42. I'd be at 47. 47%. That baits in Salamence. Okay. And Salamence sees a kill into both slots, but it sees a fast kill into Torterra. And Heliolisk will not see any... We'll see a kill into Alolan Raichu with a random move, basically. The alternative is to like just let the fake out happen and encore it into fake out. To just have him like have him be useless. I don't dislike that idea. Then I don't need the magnet either. Then I just need like... Then I just need like some random item. I don't even need to commit to anything yet. Because then I can fake out Blaziken turn 1 and just KO it with something. Probably Bascue, so Raichu takes the fake out. Oh, but he might Weather Ball me. He might Weather Ball me. Even at 66 though? Yeah, even at 66. I'm gonna save that change to put him at 66. Also to kind of check if Magnet then does the trick, right? Because if that does a trick already... then I kind of don't need to worry about it. 22, 177. Okay, yeah. So fake out Volt Cycle with Magnet does do enough on 66, level 66. Doesn't Raichu get a move now, though? On 66? No, on 64 it got Volt Cycle. Would a Thunder help? Because Raichu has a higher attack than special attack, so Thunder doesn't do much. But for the sake of it, no, that does not nearly enough. Psychic back, okay. Yeah, and this deals 33%, but I don't take any, so I'd be at 67, basically. Which will bait in Salamence clicking guaranteed Hydro Pump on it. No, it's not guaranteed, but I can do it with a little bit of chip, right? Yeah, with a little bit of chip, I should be there. And the other slot would be that. Okay. Is that full? Yeah, at full HP, it still baits Weather Ball. Wait, why is Fake Out at 20? What is the reasoning there? I don't think that's the case. Fake Out. Oh, that is okay. Inner Focus Shield Dust, no. First turn out, yes. Yes. Are you threatening fast kill? No. Then it's +9. Why does it say 20? Does it see that it kills? No. Am I threatening fast kill? I am. Yes. Does AIC fake out kill? No. Ah, so because it sees that I can kill it, it's still going to fake out. So I could still encore it into fake out, and thus neuter the Ludicolo altogether for a couple turns. Yeah, I could do that. Okay, so because I show fast kill, it's gonna fake out. I'm gonna bring Raichu. I'm gonna bring Basculegion. Those two are just kind of mandatory for this fight. They're the fastest on my The fastest mod in this weather, they can heavily utilize it, etc. Okay, so turn 1. Basque KOs. I don't even need it to be Basque, as long as it's something that just kind of fast kills. But the only one that does that is Basque. It doesn't even need to, because I can fake out, right? I can just keep Basque in the back. Because Ludicolo is guaranteed to fake out Raichu Alola. So I can just have someone else get the kill, like just fake out, because I'm faster, so I fake out Blaziken and just use something to finish it off. It can be anything from like Talonflame to with a fake out chip. It could be anything from Talonflame to, I don't know. Let's just assume he can't kill me. Like, I just need something that's able to KO. Like a Primarina. Primarina flip turn, even. Or like... Doesn't Kingdra also get flip turn through his scale? If I give it that. If I give it that over like Hydro Pump for now, because I can replace that, right? Give it the Mystic Water. That's a range. Okay. Costa does a trick. And Costa can help with some protecting, right? So Costa helps. Costa can Liquidation. Baits in the Heliolisk, clicking Thunder or Grass Knot. And baits the Energy Ball, so Raichu can still help there, or like Encore. Can just kind of be annoying with Encore altogether, because he can just Encore Heliolisk into Grass Knot or Thunder, therefore allowing me to go to Torterra pretty safely, and Torterra can just Earthquake as I switch to... I was gonna say Gyarados, but I don't know if that works. Also, I think then I run out of Encore turns. Need to check what the Encore duration is again. It's 3 turns, right? 3 turns. Okay, so turn 1, Basque something. It's Raichu A. KOs. I use Alorai usually. That's the one. Fake outs. Chicken. Ludi fake outs Raichu. Something KOs Chicken. Current idea Costa. Then let's work backwards, right? Ampy can probably Mega Ampharos. Mega Ampharos can handle Blastoise. Mega Ampharos can handle Metagross alright. But Basculegion honestly does very well too, but not as well as I thought it would. Huh. That is surprisingly hard to KO Metagross. Trying to see if there's anything. Maybe Cast Form even. Because if he can, I can switch him in on specifically. I was gonna say on specifically not Thunder Punch. You can on Zen Headbutt probably in practice, but it could be useful. This should probably be Fire Blast. I don't know. Wow, he does nothing. Wow, he does absolutely nothing. Not even Hydro Pump, kind of. Hydro. Come on. Hydro Pump. There we go. Yeah, no, that does dick all. Doesn't... He has Blizzard. Does he get Ice Beam too? Cast Form. No, just Blizzard. I can learn it like Hidden Power and shit, of course, but no. Okay. Current ID is Caracosta. Turn 2. In comes Heliolisk. It could, in theory, be Mence. Depending on who I have as the lead and how damaged I have him. I think I would prefer it to be... I think if I can make it so that Mence does not click Hurricane, which I could have let happen with Costa, then I can switch in... I can guarantee that it's Hydro Pump, basically, which I can take pretty well with Prim. Then Raichu can Encore it, while Prim just kind of, with Pixie Plate, boosted KO's Mence. And then Hydro Pump. It could, in theory, Hydro Pump Raichu then, right? Which would spell trouble. There's a better line. There's a better line there, and it's just to have Raichu two-shot the Salamence. Because he can do that with 2 Volt Tackles, and Salamence will always target the Costa, if it's Costa, the Costa slot. I just have to make sure that Caracosta is like 124, right? Then he's always gonna Hydro Pump on Costa. I can Volt Tackle the third turn as Costa switches out into Prim. And then Volt Tackle again. On that turn, Encore runs out. And into Prim, I would see Heliolisk, and Heliolisk is guaranteed to Thunder Prim, because he will not KO Raichu, because that would be a slow kill versus a fast kill. I can re-Encore Ludicolo as the Thunder comes in, and then Torterra can come in on the Thunder. Then he will go for the fast kill, which is gonna be Weather Ball. It's 218 divided by... Let's see. 218 divided by 3. So 72 less HP, so he's going to be at 103. Then Heliolisk only sees a kill with Weather Ball sometimes. All this, by the way, I'm still calculating on level 65, so... But Torch, or maybe even Crook? I don't mind the idea of using Krook instead. Krook can come in and take the KO. And the reason you go for Krook instead of Torterra is because I then have like direct offense. And he can also help with dismantling Metagross that way. With like knockoff or high horsepower. But he would bait Blastoise, which Raichu Alola just kind of one-shots. I think there's a pretty clean line I can do here with like a bunch of Encore spamming. I think I see something, but I need to like... No, I definitely think I see something here. It's just about like locking the Ludicolo and using the turns I have wisely. While also making sure I use Raichu's HP wisely. I don't need a magnet on Raichu then. And so far I've only needed to use these 4 Mons. Yeah, I think I see something. Okay, let's run this through. If I go with the Caracosta idea, Costa, pre-damage to. Wait, first level 66 Raichu Alola, level 65 Costa at 124 HP. Prim? I don't know anything else about Prim yet. I think Raichu is just gonna be like our savior of this fight. So, something, Chaos Chicken, current ID Costa. I'm just gonna say Costa Chaos Chicken. In comes, depending on like who I do that against, I can, like, I will always bait in Mence. In comes Mence. Right? That's just how I bait this in general. Then turn 2. Protect Costa, Encore, Ludi. Mence targets Costa. Ludi fails. Turn 3. Volt Tackle. Mence. Pivot. Water Resist. Current. Prim. Because that's all I really need. I could also use Kingdra instead, right? No. Yes, I could. No, I cannot. No, the reason I cannot is because I need Prim. But another water resist, such as Hisuian Electrode, maybe could work. No, not really. Because that baits Metagross. We'll see a fast kill into either. It won't actually see one into Raichu, but it's too dangerous. So no, because I want Heliolisk next. That gives me turns. So Prim. The alternative could be Gyarados. Yeah, Prim or Gyara is currently the idea. Turn 4. Volt Tackle, Mence. Mence. Hydro Pumps. Costa Slot. Volt Tackle, Mence. KOs. And if I get a crit on the Ments on the first turn, that's whatever. That will not matter for me, because I will have the right mon in anyway, right? It kind of matters. It can matter. So maybe I want to use Psychic and still keep the Magnet so Volt Tackle KOs. So I can guarantee that it's a 2-shot. That is a way to circumvent that. Psychic. I just need to see if that's relevant, right? I think it is. I think it is doubly so, in fact, because it means that Weather Ball will not see a kill into Raichu anymore. And that switching in Crook means he's guaranteed to Weather Ball, so I could stall that way a little bit if need be. Right? Because then I can pivot back to Prim on the guaranteed Weather Ball, pivot back to Crook on the guaranteed Thunder, and then KO that turn, right? Encore at that turn. So it may not matter, but I need to like further that research a bit. VT Ments, KOs, Encore ends. And in theory, I could just kind of... With Prim specifically, I could even like flip turn, right? With Prim, I could flip turn to Costa. But the problem is that Grass Knot is arranged to... Nope, it's not. It's not, because level 66 means it's not. It's not arranged to kill, so theoretically that works. Except that... No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, because of the simple fact that I would need... I need to Encore it into Thunder to make Crook just take the KO easily. So no, that doesn't work. So I could just kind of... I was gonna say Moonblast, but I can probably Scald Ludicolo or something. Or just like use Gyarados or something and like Swagger Ludicolo. Stall a turn that way. Encore ends. Other slot does... I don't know yet. Encore ends. Turn 5. Encore. In comes Helio, clicks Thunder. Turn 5. Encore Ludi. Pivot Crook on Thunder. Turn 6. Both do nothing. Turn 6. Encore Helio. High horsepower Helio for slow kill. And then in comes, against Crook, in comes Blastoise. Turn 7, I can just Volt Tackle for kill. He might, no, because he will fake out Alolan Raichu then, right? Because he sees a fast kill, he will fake it out. Toys kills fake outs Raichu, which not great, but manageable. problem then is protect, right? Because then he's poised to click protect. I guess using Tort instead could work, but I have Earthquake, and that's the issue, so it doesn't. Maybe Lycan? No. Oh, not to mention that Heliolisk has a Sash. So I proc the Sash that turn. For slow, for Sash. Turn 7. Let's see. Encore. Turn 2, turn 3. So at this turn, at the end of this turn, the Encore ends again. So I have to get the kill that turn. Which... I guess I could do? Because with the Life Orb chip... He would be... No, it wouldn't necessarily be enough. The alternative, because I'm still targeting the left slot, so I could make it so Crook doesn't take the KO, but Raichu does. For Sash, turn 7, Raichu, Psychics, Lisk, like Helio. Encore on Ludi ends. What's the PP on Fake Out? Is it 5 or 10? It's 5. Ooh, boy. Yeah, it's 5. So that's another issue that I didn't consider. Yeah, it's not upped. It's the 4th move, so it's not upped. So this is the last turn he's gonna Fake Out. So this is the turn I would need to do something about him. Encore ends. So I would need to make turn 5 a little bit different. And the way I could do that is to then take the KO with Raichu on turn 5. Because he will see a fast kill, but I can bait a slow kill if I... Because the turn before, I can guarantee that I KO turn 4, right? Because I Psychic Hair, then or turn 5, rather. Because I Psychic Hair, then I Volt Tackle, other slot, hits Ludi. And in comes Helio that wants to click Thunder. Yeah, that's fair for Rope. I'm gonna probably cut it off, like, real soon as well. I still need to do a little bit of bread making things, so probably a good idea too. Have a good night. So these don't work. Encore ends, in comes Helio, clicks Thunder. Yeah, hopefully soonish again. I cannot make any promises, but I hope to get another session in soonish. Maybe like a Wednesday night or something. I don't know. I'll see. Alright, have a good night, and see you next time. I think, actually, I'll just call it there, and I will start a host on someone else that's playing Run and Bun. I will finish this prepping on my own. and hopefully I can just do more next time, right? I see Burrito, who is doing run and bun. I see Squirk, but I'd like to do like a smaller guy, right? Let's see. Someone who just trucked. You know what? No, I'll just send this over to Squirk. Oh, here's someone. Yeah, I mean, I'll send you guys over to Felivore, who is looking to be playing. Like, how do you do that again? Hosting someone. Host, switch. Oh, right, it's raid. It's not. I raid. Let's see. Similar size. Yeah, I'll send you guys over to Felivore. Have fun, and have a good night. See you around. Hopefully, next time we can continue this fight, and until next time, see you around. Bye.